a piece. Working, we serving the streets. About to go 8 going beast. Bang, bang, leave you sleep. Tick, tick, boom. Hard body, and not scaring nobody. You make me resort to wildin'. You must be blind by the diamonds. I don't want it to be this way, but y'all won't need to try this. So it's no way around it. You the loudest one, it's going quiet. Rowdy, we get rowdy, rowdy. Rowdy, we get rowdy, rowdy. We be disturbing the peace. Working, we serving the streets. About to go 8 going beast. Bang, bang, leave you sleep. It's go, 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 go time.
Welcome, everybody, to Dueling Aces for April 22 of 2025. And yes, that is a frog that you hear in the background and microphone special effects, as it is 100% spring and the pollen is in the air and kicking my rear from one end of the weekend all the way through today. So I've got my hauls to try to help clear it up and a bottle of water, and we're just going for it. We got no Zolt. Zolt is on nights this week. Bruiser will pop in, I'm sure, eventually. Although, who knows? It is an NFL draft preview show after all. So, 50-50. But I do have my friend Sam, as always. How you doing, Sam?
Yeah, because nothing else exciting is happening, especially last weekend. Nothing exciting really happened.
Well, what happened? Did I miss something?
No, you didn't miss anything, actually.
No?
Let's just say that I sacrificed hours of sleep for nothing.
Ooh. That good, huh?
Oh, yeah.
I got a weird glare all of a sudden peering in. Got the sun on my eyeballs. It's like, look, sun can drop a little bit. That'll get rid of that glare in a minute. We do have a nice special little surprise. One of our aces, Clint, and his tag team partner, Rob, went to Vegas and to Wrestlemania, and he has turned around and sent over some pics that we will definitely be able to check out here. Sam's like, what? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We got some pics, buddy. We got some awesome pics. He sent in some sweet pics I've put together here. The outside of the Roomba vacuum cleaner. And they had to have been, they were up in some pretty serious seating, or they caught this off of the deck side. Because he didn't actually get any shots from his seat. I don't think. Because here's another view from the other deck side. So I'm assuming they were walking around. Because I did watch primarily mostly Saturday nights. After trying to kick this in the habit till 3 in the afternoon. But I noticed they had seats right above where it says WrestleMania right here. They had seats all right there. And then the pyros are going off, 15 feet above you. I don't know about that. I mean,
no.
Yeah, I'm sitting there going, listen, I remember going to a Sunday Night Heat event and Kane's pyros going off, and I'm in Joe Louis Arena in the top level on the right-hand side, and Kane's pyros go off, and up in the nosebleed section, you could still feel the heat coming off of that pyro. It was pretty damn hot. So I could just imagine all that loud pyrotechnics going off, and you sitting right underneath it would be deafening.
George, I just want to point out that somehow, whether it's in the comment sections on my show or on this show, you find a way every week to just age yourself to the people. The
Listen,
fact that you're mentioning Sunday Night Heat.
Sunday Night Heat. Listen. Sunday Night Heat was still 2000s, so don't give me this garbage. Because one of my first dates with my wife in 2000 was to Sunday Night Heat. I had won tickets off the radio. So let's not push it back that far. Sunday Night Heat was still right around in the 2000s. You were probably about 6 or 7. 4?
I was born in 96.
Oh, okay.
Let's also just point out to the people that George is old enough to remember Sunday Night Heat and probably the first annual NFL draft, too. So let's just make sure we put that out.
Look, just because the draft back in the 80s, I remember it being, they turned around and started this thing in the hotels, and they had all 7 rounds pretty much knocked out in one day instead of over a 4-day period. It doesn't mean anything. Oh, but like I said, the fun part is that it was done in a hotel room, kind of like fantasy football drafts when we do them. If you end up doing them live anyway, it's just 10 guys hanging out in the living room or the garage or the furnished basement or whatever. Just a bunch of guys in a room doing drafts, pulling players.
Yeah.
No big deal. Can you imagine the owners with the general manager and a head coach all crammed at a hotel table? At a little hotel table, just yelling at each other, going, "Hey, I'll trade you this pick and this pick for that." And then other guys going, "Wait a minute, I can one up that." It's not
that
as
is entertaining.
Think about it. If you could have went and been a fly on the wall in the 80s drafts when they're in the hotel and they're all sitting there yelling back and forth going, "Hey, I can top that. I'll give you this pick and this pick, or this guy and this pick." And everybody in the room can hear it versus all the sneaky, on the phone stuff that they got going on now.
I mean, God, now you got a draft war room for one team has like 60 people in it.
Right. I mean, they got a conference room themselves.
It's ridiculous.
I still remember the COVID. They were showing Sean Payton's office with like 6 monitors and his computer and his TV. I said, that was pretty cool. But Clint has we've got some more picks here. Here is Clint in front of the multi poster boards that they had in front of the stadium store. And of course, he took some pictures of the belts. Some very expensive belts.
Fun fact about that.
Yeah.
They have retired the term Universal Champion. Thank God.
Yep. Yeah, they just make it the WWE Championship and then the World Heavyweight Championship again.
Not that hard.
Nope, really isn't.
And also, with the World Heavyweight Championship right now, you see how on the W on the WWE title that line at the bottom is red? Can we not do that for the world title? Having it just be straight on silver gives it a dull look to me.
I mean, it is what it is. Here's Clint in front of one of the one of the walls. I don't know what he was doing here. I was just like, okay, what's he pointing to?
He's asking for us to acknowledge him.
But there's a Stone Cold belt. And this Vegas belt was at the airport. I thought that was pretty sick. But my boy turned around and he got a hookup with the meet and greet. He got Lita.
Oh.
He got Lita. I was like, heck yeah. He's supposed to send over a pic with the autograph, but I haven't seen it quite yet. And then, of course, got that awesome picture of the torch and some Raiders stuff from the field, which, of course, you know, it's going to be in full view.
It's the most champions that stadium will ever see. So,
wow.
Hey, look. I'm just here. I'm just here to do Zolt the favor and torture you. So,
as I was going to say, I'm sure Zolt could be peeping in at any time or poking in. So yeah, Clint. In fact, I have not heard yet if he's returned yet, because I know Raw was last night, so I wasn't sure if he was still attending Raw. But I know NXT is wrapping up today, or probably right now, and then they're out of Vegas officially after tonight.
Yeah,
and are moving on. But speaking of Raw, as I probably had the replay on almost all night long, as I listened to multiple things while I'm sleeping, just to have noise in the background. I actually perked when I heard Rusev was back.
Yeah, that's been in the works for about a month or two now.
That's one of my favorite dudes, and I sure as heck hope they pull off something to put that Rusev Day back into action, because that was the best thing ever for him.
I was hoping just for last night they would have brought Aiden English back, just so they could have had him say, "Do you know what day it is?"
It is. Yep.
Like the pop that would have got.
Oh, that would have been the most excellent thing ever if they could have pulled that off. That would have just been awesome. I mean, even to just have the recording of him saying it.
Exactly.
Would have totally been worth it. 100% worth it. Like I said, I hope they bring it back. I hope, I was disappointed that the Raw crowd didn't already go into it. So hopefully next week's Raw crowd will turn around and acknowledge it. But I thought it was kind of strange they brought him out during tag team stuff. I'm like, no, don't do that to him. Do not do that to him. He's a singles wrestler. You couldn't have popped him in on a surprise for something. I was a little disappointed. I swear, if Ripley joins Seth Rollins, I'm going to be the happiest person.
Anthony, we know who no. The woman that's going to be in the faction is going to be his wife. Come on.
Oh, Becky Lynch? Yeah.
That's Becky Hogan. Sorry. Her and Charlotte are the Hogans, Oh, we walk right back in. Oh, title shot, winning all this. Yeah, that's how we go here.
I'm actually glad that Charlotte did not win it.
No, I celebrated that match ending better than the Eagles winning the Super Bowl.
Oh, the way the belts were changing hands, I'm sitting there going, please don't do it. Please don't do it. Please don't do it.
I despised Charlotte.
I was thrilled that Charlotte is doing what Steve Austin did, and that is work with people and help them get over. I love that about her. She doesn't
I give her that credit.
Have it. She doesn't have to have it. I think that's the one thing that her and her dad differ, is because Rick said, It was always about him. He had to have it.
That is why early on I didn't like Charlotte. I don't like the fact that Charlotte has all those titles and they were all jam-packed so close together.
Well, when you lose them as much as you want them, I mean,
I call here's my thing. I call Charlotte the Shador Sanders of wrestling because her last name gets her a lot of stuff. I hate to say it, but I've never been a Charlotte guy. I don't like Charlotte. I don't like Becky either.
Sam, Phillies at Cubs this weekend. We can't be friends.
Dustin, we can sweep us, please. We'll be up 3-0, bases loaded, bottom of the 8th, and we'll throw out Jose Ruiz and throw Justin Tucker a sausage that he'll just demolish. But
I was extremely surprised by the triple threat ending because I thought for sure I knew 100% Punk and Heyman that wasn't gonna go. So when he double crossed Punk, I was like, "Yep, 100%, no problem. I smell this one coming." And when he did it, I'm going, "There we go." And then as soon as he saw the back turn, I'm going, "Yes, revenge." And then I saw Heyman come walking up by the side of him. I'm going, "You son of a..." I'm like, "Are you freaking kidding me?" I'm like, Seth can't stand Paul Heyman. I'm like, where is this coming out of? And sure enough, when he did it, I'm going, okay, hang on. Maybe it's the meds I'm on. I'm like, am I dreaming? What the hell? And I mean, even in the quote unquote after show part where, they cut off from the pay-per-view and they're into the after show. And Heyman extends his hand out. The hesitation by Seth was so well done. He's just like, oh, and I'm sitting there and I'm like, Seth, shake the hands of the devil. Go ahead. You have to. You asked for it. You see, you're all in now, buddy boy. It's like, be careful what you wish for, pal, because you just might get it. And guess what? You got it. And now you're hooked to him. Good luck.
Well, see, I kind of predicted that ending. I saw it coming. The Bloodline story was eventually going to come to an end. We knew that. So then, when I look at just the terms of Punk and Heyman weren't going to align long term, we knew that. No. I was more thrown off last night by Braun Breaker entering this fold. I am seeing some type of a Evolution remake here.
I agree.
The reason they did this is because they are, first of all, there's only one guy that WWE right now knows how to do long-term storytelling with, and that's Roman Reigns. This continues the narrative of everybody leaves Roman eventually. Seth, Paul, Jay, Jimmy, anybody who is aligned with Roman, Sammy, anybody who is aligned with Roman Reigns has screwed him over. Ironically, the only guy that didn't screw him over in his time in WWE was Jon Moxley. Because, yes, when he was Dean Ambrose and he turned heel in that final couple of years he was in WWE, remember, when he turned heel, he didn't turn on Roman. Roman was away because he had leukemia. Yep. He turned on Seth. And this continues the Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins feud for as long as they can take it out, because Roman has said when his current contract is up, he probably will go away to something less physically tolling on him. He may go into that Undertaker phase where he may only show up for WrestleMania for a while. Because, I mean, Roman's body, people need that. I know people like to say, Roman hasn't wrestled a lot the last couple of years. Yeah, but the guy has been actively battling leukemia. His body can't take as much as some of these other people.
Right.
So I'm assuring when Roman's deal is up, we are eventually going to have the WrestleMania match of all WrestleMania matches once and for all. Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, let's go. Have at it, and let's put the knife in the steak. Because this has been a ride. They are almost trying to make this like the modern day Cena Orton.
Yeah, and I'm all for it. And here's the better part about that. I do not want to see a title attached to that match.
No.
You make sure there is no title, just like the other night. You do not put a title attached to this, not at all. And you just let them go. It's a no DQ match. You make sure it is a no DQ match, so he can go to town and give Seth a receipt that is so years overdue, and he can just blow up at him and just let him rip and go. I would totally be on board for that.
Havoc attached under Bloodline rules. There are no rules.
Say his name and he appears, I believe, in.
Oh my God, the Joe Hendry spot with Randy Orton.
Well, I did think this sneaky little move of Randy coming out from under the ring and hitting Cena with an RKO.
Oh no! The better part is when Cena turns. The better part is when Cena turns around and says "shit" in the microphone. That's the best part of that whole thing. Somebody
put a Reels or a TikTok thing on, and I saw that, and I was like, "Oh, yep, you know what's coming." It's like, here you go.
You know, that whole Cena saying shit thing. If there's a meme to that, that's almost like the Niners thinking that their IR report was going to stop being so long last year. Anyway, I will say, look. And I want to bring this up because a lot of people were upset about this. Everyone's like, oh, why did Joe Hendry only get like a 5-minute match with Randy Orton? WWE had literally 2 weeks to find someone to face Randy Orton. They had Rusev
try to make it something.
Yes. They had Rusev plan to return the night after Mania. They weren't going to switch that. They needed somebody to return the night after Mania. You have to have it. SmackDown is probably going to be the return of Aleister Black. So they weren't going to move him either. And also, you understand, Joe Hendry has been in NXT shows, not WWE. He did one WWE show, and that was the Rumble.
Yeah.
Randy Orton has never worked with Joe Hendry before. They don't have time to put together a match that could give you a 20 to 25-minute match. They don't have the time.
No, and they're on a restriction to begin with.
Exactly. But look, you got Joe Hendry a WrestleMania moment, which was badass. You got a huge pop. Randy got a WrestleMania win. Now he's going to go work Cena, which is going to be quality because it always has been. Yeah, Dustin said this on my show last night. He is not over the Undertaker streak being broken 11 years ago.
Yeah, I mean, and especially if they knew the way that it was going to play out.
Yeah, well, no one envisioned Taker getting concussed during the match.
Well, that too. I mean, it's kind of like Cal Ripken sitting there looking at the coach going, "I'm not playing tonight, dude. The streak's over. I ain't playing tonight."
There are just certain things that WWE should have not done, and that's one of them. Like, that should never have been broken. We should have retired with that as one of the greatest feats in WWE, undefeated at WrestleMania. But I'm sure I'm going to have a lot more gripes coming up in this because I am not happy.
Did you catch any of the Hall of Fame from Friday night?
Nope.
I watched the replay. There weren't that many, and the weird thing is they did a couple of Legends folks like inductions, but never announced them. and I thought that was a little disappointing.
Yeah.
But my God, Triple H's speech almost went 49 minutes.
She only won.
I was like, good gravy. Everybody else, pretty much was around 15, 20 minutes. And then I'm sitting there and I'm all right. So, they went through, the natural disasters, which was pretty cool. And then they went through Michelle McCool's. And, it was funny to hear between her and Taker who was chasing who and who said yes and whatnot. But it's like, if you guys have seen Road Trip, oh, that's right, you can't see those anymore. Darn it. The WWE Network doesn't exist. Those were fun to watch. We know that Michelle McCool was scared half to death to even try to ask her out. But anyways, it was really cool to listen to her speech. It was pretty cool. And then Shawn Michaels basically took about 10 to 15 minutes, and he's sitting there, and the whole joke is because Saturday they had to turn around in the NXT group. They had a 5 a.m. meeting. That was the joke. And Triple H's thing just kept going on. And he goes, I know Sean's in the back cussing me out right now. But yeah, that's what he gets. He goes, this is payback for all those road trips. I was like, wow. Okay. But you got to hear a lot of cool stories, But yeah, his thing went a long dang time. Dustin says that's why Lesnar chose to broke it. He broke more so because the potential health risk, but it could play it out differently. Yeah, WWE definitely hasn't been the same since. That was the other thing. He mentions about the First Blood, the hardcore matches with Al Snow and Hardcore Holly. Why did Travis Scott have a weird taped up hardcore generic belt thing in that?
Why was Travis Scott involved in this anyway?
Yes, I guess that's even the bigger question.
All right.
So that's the bigger question, because I'm sitting there going, why? You did not need that. I'm sorry,
George.
He's not Bad Bunny. Bad Bunny was better than Logan Paul. Okay? Bad Bunny took some serious lessons and learned. I was like, hell
George,
yes. Bring Bad Bunny back in.
You have two options right now. You either keep this show's trajectory going the way it is, or you let me unleash the rant that I will go on for the next at least 10 minutes.
Oh, go for the rant. Go for it.
Okay. So I'm going to say this. I'm going to start this off very explicit. I try to keep a cool head. I try to keep it PG for the people. I have two things to say. First, that's The Rock. And TKO is going to be the death of what people thought their favorite wrestling company was. Because, George, from the moment Elimination Chamber ended, what were we all prepared for? What is The Rock going to do at Mania? Because we all saw Chamber. Rock comes out. Cody tells him to go F off, which I think WWE should do entirely. But now that he's on the board of directors of TKO, he's going to continue to insert himself in this shit. Nothing about that main event. First of all, the main event sucked.
Mm-hmm.
That was one of the worst main events in WrestleMania history. John Cena's 17th title win had no impact whatsoever.
Nope.
If this is what they were going to do, you should never have turned them heel. Because at the end of the night, just go back and watch it. He ended up getting cheered the whole night anyway, and Cody Rhodes was the one getting booed.
Yeah, which is not what you expected.
First of all, I have an issue with WWE and their premier live events as it is. I like the people. And now let me just explain this. I have not consistently.
And Justin from
Justin
talking about
is in the
balls. Yep, he even said he agrees.
Let me explain something with this, okay? I am sick and tired of the 2-night premiere live event. Because, everybody likes to make the joke that, in AEW, everybody gets a match on a pay-per-view. That's why the pay-per-views are 7 hours long. Well, isn't WWE kind of just doing the same thing instead of giving you a 24-hour intermission? I could give you 5 matches on that card that had no business being on the damn card. The New Day tag title match, no business being on WrestleMania. The women's tag match with Becky Hogan, which is who she is, no reason that should have been on the damn show. There were so many. I'm sorry.
AJ and Logan could have been yanked. Why?
Well, look, we know
the
why
undercard crap you could have just washed. Randy didn't need to be on versus anybody either.
Well, okay, yes, but he's Randy Orton. They're going to find something for him. It's not his fault that Kevin Owens couldn't wrestle. That's not his fault. That is a really bad situation. That could have been one of your look. The 2 non-title matches that you could have had were them and Damian and Drew, because even that was pretty good.
Yeah, that's true.
Here's how WrestleMania went. Night 1 completely sucked outside of the main event. The only thing that was good about night 1 outside of the main event was Tiffany Stratton. That was it.
Really? You didn't? I thought I was shocked by Jay winning over Gunther. I was 100% surprised.
I hate it. Hold on. Jay Uso is a super kicking, high flying nut job, and you're going to have Gunther tap out 5 seconds into a submission hold, but then the next night you're going to have Gunther choke out Pat McAfee for 10 minutes.
Oh, on Raw, yeah. That was lame too.
Well, that's the point. Like, look, Gunther could tap out. That's fine, but it was too quick. That's my point. Like, Gunther just was like, he sat there for 2 seconds and then, like, dude, he's Gunther. You're supposed to be building him up to be this strong, big guy, and he just tapped out on a whim?
I was going to say, sell it for about 10 to 15 seconds and let him start doing the arm drop things, man. Something.
Did you check Tyler? Tyler said the exact same thing.
Did he really?
Yes.
Nice.
We all knew he was going to win. That's fine, but not that kind of way.
No. Yeah.
But look, night 1 sucked. The main event was great. Night 2 was great. The main event sucked. You know what that means? You don't need 2 nights for this crap. You don't have it. Like, someone says 2 nights this year. Good luck. I'm not watching it.
Yeah,
it's in I'm boycotting it.
I was going to say, I believe it's in my backyard, too.
Yeah, like, they don't need 2 nights. And they're like, oh, well, we set a record 124,000. Yeah, people come in the same 2 nights. You're not drawing 61,000 one night and then 63,000 new people the next night. You're just doubling your freaking ticket. You're doubling your ticket sales. That's all you're doing. It's a money grab, and it's not good.
Yeah. I recall when they first set it up for that, and I was like, okay, it's all right. And the way they broke it down was fine, but I mean, now you're really trying to force it almost 4 hours. You're forcing, and you know darn well that you can eliminate almost 2/3 of this and make one great show again.
Not to mention, you're taking away from the Saturday night NXT show they do, which now has to be dropped to like 4:00 in the afternoon.
Yep.
And then, look, the one thing that we should know is that Triple H and Shawn Michaels each, when it comes to NXT, have done a great job with NXT. When Triple H was calling it by himself.
Oh, Justin, I love it, buddy. I love it.
Oh, God.
I love it, buddy. That's awesome. That is 100% awesome. I love it, Justin. I love it.
But, all right, let's jump to this ridiculous main event. First of all, let me explain. This is why I hate TKO owning WWE. They're going to input a bunch of crap that nobody wants. We don't want Travis Scott interfering in what's supposed to be this monumental main event, okay?
Right.
Here's the difference. Bad Bunny was used as a promotion because WWE rarely goes to Puerto Rico. That is why he was involved in that.
But he turned out to be very athletic and very good.
I agree. And let me just give you this. I know your hatred for Logan Paul. I know Orlando hates him. I'm not his biggest fan either. Let me just tell you something. Logan Paul is there for three reasons. Two major reasons. Number one, that Prime is paying WWE a lot of money. That's one. Number two, Logan Paul, like Taylor Swift for the NFL, brings a new fan base he brings a new viewership to the product. And the one credit I will give Logan Paul, he's a cocky jackass. I can't stand him. But
nice.
Oh yeah, that whole Stone Cold thing. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Let me just say this about Logan Paul. Unlike his brother, he has respect for what he has gotten himself involved in.
Agreed.
From his first match to just this past Sunday, he has learned the art of WWE and sports entertainment and has tried to better himself. Like, just think of this. He has worked. They told him, all right, we're going to Saudi Arabia. You're working Roman Reigns in the middle of Roman's biggest run of his career. Logan Paul said, okay, let's do it. Next up, Logan, you're working with Seth Rollins. Okay, great, let's do it. And even, I know he's older now. I know the tread on the tires is getting up there. You're working AJ Styles at WrestleMania, who is easily one of the best wrestlers of this generation from TNA to now. And he has no issue going up against guys he clearly knows in the ring is light years ahead of him. That's the one thing I will say. I have respect for Logan Paul, and even when he tried the box, at least he went against the boxer that was once great, unlike somebody. His brother makes a mockery out of the sport he's in. At least Logan respects it enough to work the top guys. I don't like him. I just respect that he has respect for what he's doing. But I'm sorry, if I'm Triple H, Triple H is the head of creative. He runs the day-to-day operation for the current roster. If I walked into TV after Elimination Chamber and I'm like, wait a minute, my champion has a black eye and a busted eardrum from a rapper who's never stepped foot in a WWE ring because Dwayne, your member of the board of directors, put him in the ring, I don't want him anywhere near my talent ever again.
No, and he shouldn't have been. He had no business being back in there.
And speaking of Dwayne, where the hell has he been? Oh, so I came prepared tonight.
No problem, Justin. We'll catch you later.
Justin, if you want a really good shot of putting the kid to bed, just put on night two's main event. Out like a light. Because God knows I was. So, The Rock came on the Pat McAfee show today. Basically coming out and admitting there was no plan for him to be at WrestleMania at all. So essentially, I want to take you back to a couple dates here. So, Dwayne, we all know The Rock before Elimination Chamber came out and said, Cody Rhodes, you were going to give me your soul. You're going to be my champion. Okay. So, Elimination Chamber comes around. Cody tells him to go F off. Cena turns heel, which I'm sorry. I get John Cena individually. John Cena individually wanted to have a heel run before he called it a career. He wants to prove he can do it. The reaction that he got at WrestleMania and that Cody got instantly makes it a failure because the heel is not supposed to be cheered. That's the point of wrestling. The bad guy is supposed to.
And I think the fans knew that too.
That's the point. The fan base doesn't care. But that's beyond the point. First of all, the Cena heel turn was a last-minute decision by who else?
The Rock.
So Cena turned heel at Elimination Chamber.
And he was heel before you were born.
Who?
You. Cena was heel before you were born.
Cena?
Yeah, I had to explain it to Bryce too. Cena came out and started as the villainous rapper, Dr. Thugonomics.
Yeah, but people just fell in love with him, and then we became a face automatically. He won the crowd over for 20 plus years.
Well, he wasn't meaning to, but it ended up that way.
Exactly. But here's the problem. So Cena comes out and turns heel, and he's going off on the crowd every week, and Cody and him are going back and forth on this whole against the fan stuff. Cena says Cody will do what it takes to keep that title, which Cody ends up not. Let's just backtrack a little, okay? I got some very important dates here, okay?
Uh-huh.
The Raw after WrestleMania last year, The Rock exchanges an awkward segment with Cody where they both switch their belts because, The Rock has the people's belt because he's ego. The Rock has two problems. He's either coming up small downstairs or his ego is just that crushed. Because let me explain this before I get too deep into this. I do not have an issue with The Rock just as in the WWE. I have an issue with The Rock outside of it. Everything has to be about him.
The second G.I. Joe movie. That alone explained it.
He tried to claim he was more important to the Fast and Furious franchise than Vin Diesel. Yeah, that's why they booted
Vin said, "There's the door, dude."
No, they gave him a trial run. Like, oh, here, let's give you Hobbs and Shaw, and it sucked.
Oh, God, you had to bring that up.
There's just always a movie and a giant sequel like that you just shouldn't make. And that was it.
Yeah.
Like, Fate of the Furious is already bad. With Dom. That's like with Dom turning a bad guy. Like, what are we doing? And that stuff, too.
I mean, I don't mind the creative storyline they put for Fate and the Furious. I'm not mad about it. Either. I'm not that mad about it, but they could have kept him more heelish longer, I think, instead of trying to pull up Momoa, who's another one.
Oh, good Lord. I think what Fate of the Furious was the whole franchise was trying to think of something because of Paul Walker not being there. Because here's the thing. Before Paul Walker died, Fast and Furious 6 had already been released. Fast and Furious 7 the Furious 7 movie was already 85% finished. All they had to do was flip a few things, use his brother for a couple scenes, and they had to edit the ending. They were done Furious 7 essentially before he passed away. They had to find something to do for number 8, and everything outside of after 8 it's been fine. But let's just go here. So The Rock has that stupid People's Championship belt, which means nothing. They have that weird exchange the night after Mania last year with him and Cody. That's number 1. Okay, let's go to Bad Blood. Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes team up against Solo Sikoa, and I believe it was Jacob Fatu. Right?
Yeah, yep.
The Rock appears at the end of the show, counts to 3. He goes 1, 2, 3, and then dips. As the show is ending, you go to a camera angle with Solo saying that this is all a part of the plan. Because that's when we were in this old bloodline versus new bloodline warfare. And that's never mentioned again. Okay.
Ever.
So let's go to the first Raw on Netflix. The Rock does his babyface routine and states that him and Cody have become good friends following WrestleMania last year. He also endorses how great Roman Reigns is. Okay, that's weird. The next month on TV, he decides to show up and says he wants Cody Rhodes' soul. And at an Elimination Chamber, The Rock assists John Cena in turning heel, and Cena officially sells his soul to The Rock. All for that to happen, for The Rock, after Elimination Chamber, not to show up, not just at WrestleMania, not one time during the WrestleMania season. So you're telling me everything, and I don't care if anyone disagrees, everything from last year's WrestleMania, you had no long-term plans for any of this.
Yeah, I don't think Clint mentioned that he was even around.
He wasn't there. He wasn't in Vegas. He hasn't been to a WWE show in any capacity since Elimination Chamber, which we found out today. The reason he showed up at Elimination Chamber is because TKO called him and said, ticket sales are slow. We need you. So it's only when they need him or it's convenient for him to show up, they come up with this whole stealing your soul gimmick with Cody, all for it to go to shit and not have him around at all. And you have John Cena, who has been the face of your company for damn near 3 decades. And he wins the WWE Championship with interference from Travis freaking Scott? What the hell are we doing right now? So basically what you just said was Cody Rhodes was nothing. Because I'm sorry, not only is this a bad look for The Rock and TKO, it diminishes what John Cena just did. Because first of all, George, can we agree with something? If John Cena was going to turn heel, it should have been at Mania, not at the Chamber a month before. It would have made more sense. If there is one thing John Cena does not need in this world, it's help. When it comes to wrestling, he's John freaking Cena. He doesn't need The Rock.
Right, and I would have rather have him try to really build on the heel thing. I mean, there's a way to really kind of build animosity week by week and not just sit there and go flip and
George,
okay,
this is all they had to do. This is all they had to do. All they had to do was have Cena bypass Rocket Chamber, shake Cody's hand, I'll see you at WrestleMania. They build it up for that month. Cena's like, I know you right now are the face of this company, but I will make history. No.
Yeah.
Bruiser, I don't care where he was.
Believe me, that dude has gone on between movie takes and whatnot. That dude has been back and forth on flights to do shit for WWE all the time.
All he had to do was
not taking it. John Cena's even done it. John Cena has literally just slept on planes, gone back and forth.
There are minor league baseball players that get called up from AAA that drive 6 hours to make a major league debut. Don't tell me one of the richest actors/wrestlers in the world cannot get on a flight to go to the. He didn't even need to be at the whole night. He had to show up for the final 5, 10 to 10 damn minutes of the show. It ain't that hard to do. And TKO probably would have gave $7 million.
Right. It would have been a private jet back and forth in a heartbeat. There's no excuse.
All Sunday night showed you that nothing from.
That's what we've been waiting for.
Hold on.
I know Anthony's getting a little ahead. I know.
No, because Anthony's right. But what happened? The Rock did take Cody's moment last year. Remember the SmackDown last year before Mania? Before they had the press conference and Cody slapped The Rock or The Rock slapped Cody or Roman. Someone slapped somebody at that open thing. Remember, on that SmackDown, The Rock showed up and Cody just got out of the ring. That was Cody handing his main event spot against Roman to The Rock because The Rock wanted to face Roman. But because there was too much fan backlash, WWE said, we're not doing that. You can have a tag match with Roman against him and Seth. We cannot give you the main event. We're getting too much heat for it. Because also, here's the thing. clearly Roman last year during Mania season, something was up with his health. We knew that.
Yep.
So WWE probably sat him down and said, Rock, if Roman needs to take a breather, something is not right with his health, we're going to put this title on someone who can't show up more than once every 9 months? They can't do that. And it makes me sick and I'm sorry, I think Dwayne has a little, look, if you believe that Dwayne The Rock Johnson tells the truth and half the shit he says, that you are dumber than I realize. Because The Rock is an egotistical liar. I want to believe some of the stuff that he said. I just want to believe that he didn't want to be around. And he's sitting there on the McAfee show saying, I didn't want to take the spotlight away from Cena and Cody. But you did. Because you started this whole thing in Elimination Chamber, and then you didn't show up. So guess what? Even with John Cena winning that 17th title, what is the talk of the town right now? Where's The Rock? Who was on the Pat McAfee show talking about the creative plans? The Rock. You still took it away from them. And not only did you take it away from Cena, basically, in hindsight, all you said to Cody Rhodes, all you were for the last year was a placeholder. That's what you said.
And right now, you're automatically showing that you're going to turn around and give Randy his shot at it.
And he'll lose, and he'll probably lose too. Well, that's fine. Randy will get his last day in the sun as well. It's just not yet. Randy's going to get his last day in the sun too. But this was always the build-up. Cena and Randy one last time, because Randy's probably going to try to wrestle for another couple of years. This is Cena or in one last time. This isn't the time for Randy to get his last hurrah. That's not the time for this yet. But
so you think that's set up for SummerSlam then?
Oh yeah, he'll work Randy now. I'm sure
you got Backlash in what, 2 weeks? Yeah, you got Backlash in like 2 weeks.
Yeah, so him and Randy will work together. I'm sure Punk and him will work together at some point, depending on what they're doing with Rollins and Punk and Roman and all this stuff, because they're basically trying to make an Evolution 2.0 at this point, so, which I'm actually excited for. I think that's the one thing I actually do like right now.
Hey, Bruiser.
Hey, Bruiser, how are you doing?
Can I explain this to you too, like you're 5?
Well, you are the man behind the curtain. So please.
Because I heard Sam sit there and explain it, and I didn't want his blood pressure to get any higher.
Go for it.
The John Cena heel turn didn't need The Rock. I will agree on that. However, it needed to happen.
Yeah.
The WWE, Triple H, and TKO did Cody Rhodes and 60,000 people a disservice by not making sure that The Rock was going to be there. And not making sure that The Rock was there. The biggest failure of the whole thing, even if The Rock wasn't there, was that Cody Rhodes did not get his receipt from Elimination Chamber on Travis Scott. The fact that you had Travis Scott go out there, I mean, it's almost Wednesday. He's still making his way to the ring.
Jesus God, I hated that so much.
He's still making his way to the ring, and you have
what's that championship he holds?
It was a podunk hardcore title. Hey!
Yeah, no, like, don't get me wrong. Look, I get because of what happened at Chamber, you're going to let Cody beat the crap out of Travis Scott. That's fine. I get all that. That's fine. But, like, just the way everything came about, the fact that there was no long-term story, like, what they could have done, like you said, it had to happen. And we both agree. It doesn't need to involve The Rock. So you could have easily just had Cena be who he's been for his whole career, up until then, you're telling me him turning heel at WrestleMania, that would have created some of the biggest controversy in the world. It would have set the whole wrestling universe on fire.
Did you see the table pulling? The heel turn had to happen before Mania. It just didn't need The Rock.
I think it would happen at Mania. That would have set the whole world on fire.
No, because it would have given you shades of Austin at WrestleMania 17. The heel turn leading up to from Elimination Chamber forward was perfect. The promos were great. The I'm in an abusive relationship and you're the problem toward the fan, allowing Cena to say all those things that have frustrated him for the last 20 years is a great premise.
Oh yeah, Cody and Cena killed this whole thing.
I think though that they should have taken. If I'm looking at it through a different lens and revisionist history, I would have taken the title off of Cody at Elimination Chamber and put it on Cena there. Because, and I've been listening to Busted Open Radio the past few days, part of the problem, and both Dave LaGreca and Bully on Busted Open are absolutely right.
Only guy I can listen to, by the way.
What's that?
Only guy I can stand listening to talk wrestling. Like I made the mistake of like scrolling through Twitter and someone shared of a clip of Russo talking about it. I couldn't stand. I lost for like 2 seconds. I turned it off.
No, LaGreca and Bully.
Cornette explains
and Bully and break the dial.
Listen to Cornette explain it. Cornette explains it with the same amount of understanding that Bully does, or that.
I love Cornette. Cornette.
But
I love that he hates Russo too.
Russo's a pile of garbage.
True.
But they asked why did Cody get booed at SmackDown and at Mania, and John Cena got cheered at SmackDown, Mania, and then Raw. And part of the reason is, yes, it's history and people are just going to cheer history. And you're wrong, Dennis. There's plenty of build.
Dennis, we also have Bruiser, who also...
I'm in the wrestling business. I've been in the wrestling business for 20 years.
Yep.
He's our John Cena, damn it.
Don't insult.
You not see I have a PhD?
Yeah. He's got the PhD in thugonomics. Just like Dennis has the PhD in not liking good football players.
But they asked why did Cena get cheered, and part of it was people just wanted to see history. 100%. However, Mania, Survivor Series, the Royal Rumble, SummerSlam attract a different type of audience because it's one of the big four. The smart marks tend to make the trips for those big events because the conventions and stuff are based around that, especially with Mania. So you have a very, very internet smart audience that is there who likes to be contrarian and likes to try to hijack things. That is why Cody got booed on Friday. Cody's been cheered everywhere else. I don't have a problem with them taking the title off of Cody and putting it on Cena. It should have happened earlier.
Yeah, that's what I said a few weeks ago. Like, because of what, like, I'm not saying I need a new one every 2 to 4 months, but you don't gotta give these guys titles for a year. You don't gotta keep doing it that way. The problem is,
do. Cody had 6. Here's the thing. Roman legitimately had like 15 title defenses in 4 years because he didn't.
I didn't like that either.
Cody's had 61 title defenses in the past year.
Yeah.
Because he defends it on house shows and live events that aren't televised.
Yeah.
So I don't have a problem. You need to have a champion that holds it for a year, 6 months, 8 months, a year and a half. Because it not only legitimizes the guy, but it legitimizes the belt. Especially if you're defending it on live events.
I have to disagree with that. Like you said, Cody is a workhorse. He will work every event that you ask him to work. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. Don't get me wrong. I think Roman could have wrestled more in that reign, but like I said, look what he's been battling his whole life. His body can't always take the same amount of physical toll that Cody's does or Seth does because of what he's going through with leukemia. He can't always take the same toll that the rest of them can. That's why he even said after this contract, he's probably going to basically go damn near away because his body just can't really take the same thing. It's like saying with James Conner in football. Some of these guys' bodies after they go through this stuff can't take the same toll that others can.
Well, he should go away. But I've seen something in the chat, this Anthony dude talking about there's no more storyline for CM Punk. Are you out of your mind?
Did you watch Raw last night?
Did you listen? Paul Heyman perpetuated the story, and CM Punk didn't need to say a word. It's all CM Punk's fault because CM Punk put Paul Heyman in that position to betray the tribal chief and then to betray him. Like, perfect. It's perfect.
Oh, yeah. I love what they're doing.
The two best matches at WrestleMania were that triple threat to close night one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the triple threat to open night two.
Yeah.
That Io Sky, Rhea Ripley, Bianca Belair match was probably as close to perfect of a match as you could ever have.
Oh, yeah.
And I have to give George, I realized George was sick over the weekend, and I'm just going to give him shit because we invited 15 people over for a WrestleMania party Saturday.
And 2 of us couldn't be there.
No, George, everybody but one either no-called, no-showed or said they weren't coming a half hour to an hour before the party. One dude showed up. One.
That's freaking.
Like I said, I didn't even get out of bed till 3, and I felt so bad. Kelly was like,
fine. I knew you were sick. It didn't bother you. Didn't bother me.
Kelly was bummed, and I was too. I was like, "Damn it!" I said, "I want to go, but I couldn't even." It was like I couldn't even walk around the house. Ugh. But that sucks.
Mm-hmm.
That's brutal.
Yeah, because Kel and I were looking forward to it. Bryce was already over at a buddy's house and everything. It was going to be me and Kel, and we were looking forward to it.
Yeah, I was not happy. You could ask my wife. After my buddy left, I went on about an hour just tirade.
Oh, that super sucks, dude.
What's your Bruiser? Let me get your opinion on something. What do you think? I personally love it. The Braun Breaker thing, tying him up with Seth and Heyman.
It's great. It's great if they pair him up. It's great if they pair him up with Aleister Black when Aleister comes back, and put Aleister with that group.
Yeah, I think they said his possibility was he's being advertised for SmackDown on Friday. So
he's going to show up at SmackDown on Friday. They're in Fort Worth, so we'll see what happens.
Are we thinking they add 4 total, like not including Heyman?
I think they'll have 4.
Who would be the 4th then? If you think it's going to be Aleister, who would be your 4th?
I don't think it's going to be Aleister, and I don't know that it's going to be Aleister. I know that Aleister was one of the guys that Heyman was really working with. in 2020 during the COVID era of WWE. It was Alistair and Andrade and Bobby and a number of guys when Paul Heyman ran Raw and he started to get them over and Vince wasn't happy. And then we got the Rusev as a cuckold angle out of it, and we got the a number of other things that were awful because Vince was upset with Paul that Vince was getting guys like Rusev and Humberto Carrillo and others over.
Do you think I'm trying to stick with like the trajectory they're on? Like it's Seth with a young guy they really like. Do we think someone brought up Carmelo Hayes on Twitter? Possibly, maybe.
I would put Roxanne Perez with Paul. I'd bring Roxanne Perez up to the main roster and put Roxanne Perez in that group.
I don't hate that. Now, I'm not a big NXT guy. I don't watch it enough, but I know Roxanne Perez. I like that idea.
I'd put Roxanne Perez in that group, and then I would bring up Obafemi and put Obafemi with him.
Interesting.
Or I'd go get Karrion Kross and I put Karrion Kross in that group.
Karrion Kross cracks me up. Karrion Kross legitimately cracks me up when I see him on TV.
It's not real. It was generated. KO's gone for 18 months. He's having
maybe longer.
Listen, by the way, before I get out, I get out of here because I was about to head to the gym before I realized that you guys were actually on way too early. It's not 9:30. We can't be on without Zolt.
There will be no Zolt this evening. Zolt's on night shift.
So you're still on way too early.
Damn it, George.
I will give credit to Pat McAfee for taking that rear naked choke last night and actually getting choked out with it.
Oh my!
Oh yeah.
Dude, Gunther had that cinched in, and I was like, he's turning purple.
He was.
It was probably
also credit to Cole for letting Gunther cinch him up in that for a split second.
Oh my god.
That was great.
Dude, it must have been probably the third time overnight I was, because it's on a loop on my phone. And I hear Michael Cole screaming at somebody about, I'm not letting somebody bully us. And he goes, our job, it's our job to be commentary, and we can't have opinions. And I'm
talking to Adam
like,
Pearce.
What? And I roll over. Adam what Pearce. The hell did I miss? And I rewound it a little bit, and I'm going, damn. I'm like, it's a purple Pat McAfee. I'm like, somebody get a Funko Pop of that.
He listen, Gunther cinched that in on Cole, and the moment he cinched that in on Cole and I saw Cole's face, I was like, Cole's definitely wearing lipstick in prison with that kind of for sure.
Oh my god.
And this is why we love Bruiser.
And then he cinched that in on McAfee, and I was like, I can't stand McAfee, but I'll give him credit for that. That's not fun. I know how to cinch that in, and I've had it cinched in on me. It's not fun.
Hey, and he went for it all the way.
He went
He
night
did.
night.
He went
Oh, yeah.
for it all the way.
I had to rewind it twice though, because I was like, did a fan jump the barricade? And then I realized it was all the boys from Pat McAfee's show that jumped the barricade. I was like, okay, so this was planned.
Yeah, because I was like, wait, did someone jump this whole thing? Like, do we have like 6 guys who try to be assholes and jump the freaking show?
I thought it was
Right.
2 that jumped the barricade. I only saw 2. And then when they were ushering everybody into the back, I realized it was all the dudes from Pat McAfee's show. Also, I hope this is a really clever way to write Pat McAfee off of TV for a long time so that we can please bring Corey Graves back.
The funny part was I was thinking the same thing, but what's his face jumped in there with Michael Cole, and I'm like, let's not make that a lead-in for him. I'm like, please get Mr. Graves back on the desk. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Tessitore just happened to be there because he hosts the show.
Right. But like I said, I agree with you. I hope it's the lead-in thing for Corey Graves to come back. Graves, he really does such a nice job at it. I totally want him back.
I want to bring this up while Bruce is on here before he leaves. Can you please help me out, explain to the people why it was okay that Joe Hendry and Randy Orton only had like a 5-minute match?
Why?
People are upset about.
Because it's Randy Orton.
Yeah, but not only that, I brought up the point that like that was the definition of something unexpectedly having to be done in like 2 weeks. No one knew 3 weeks ago that KO was not going to be able to wrestle for 18 months.
Okay. I realize it's only 8:25, but I'm going to say this, and George can censor it all he wants. I don't care. It's Randy fucking Orton. He is quite possibly, if you were to build a professional wrestler in a lab, that's what you get.
Mm-hmm.
He is the pinnacle of the business.
And can work with anybody.
100%.
And make it up on the fly if they had to.
If they did.
Again, he could have a talent. He could have a 5-star match with a broomstick. The reason why it's believable that Randy Orton had 5 minutes, 3.5 minutes with Joe Hendry, whatever it was, I think it was like 3 minutes, 30 seconds was the total length of the match. Guess what? It wasn't a squash match. It was legitimately 60-40. Go back and watch it again. Joe Hendry got 60% of the offense. Randy Orton hit his staples. He hit the draping DDT. He hit the power slam. He hit the RKO out of nowhere. Hendry, his pose. Randy Orton was out of frame, came into frame, extended, and hit the RKO. That match was everything that needed to be. 100%. Nothing wrong with that match. And guess what?
No, I agree.
TNA and WWE have a working partnership. TNA has a pay-per-view this weekend called Rebellion. Joe Hendry has already said he could defend the TNA title on WWE television.
Yeah.
Can you imagine Randy Orton beating him and being the TNA World Champion?
That'd be interesting.
That'd be a twist. I will always adamantly say that is the one. That was the beginning of the. Don't get me wrong; they've made huge mistakes since starting AEW, but that is one of the biggest mistakes that Tony made was not continuing a partnership with TNA.
Tony's made several mistakes, including letting the partnership with AAA slip through his fingers because now WWE owns AAA.
Yeah.
Watch what what
TKO
and WWE do with AAA.
No,
They're going to make they're going to make Lucha Libre a household name in the United States.
Oh yeah, and that's the problem. But it's okay because we still have New Japan after all their guys are out of their primes of their career, so we're good.
That's not going to last much longer either.
I know. I'm making jokes.
Guess what's been making its way back in Japan? All Japan.
Bruiser, let me just point this out. I have not watched a consistent AEW program in almost a year and a half. So
you don't have to.
I don't want to.
It's the same stuff.
I don't want to. That's why I'm telling. Like, who was the guy that was front row the other night when they were? Because did you watch them? Like, I know we're not big guys on AEW, but the match you had with Omega a while back, my God, it was freaking amazing. And they have let WWE acquire that. This is what Tony's problem is. See, Tony buys old wrestlers. WWE just goes and buys a whole company.
It's not even that. We all know the guy at the end of the bar who thinks he's the smartest guy in the bar.
Wrong side, sorry.
I was like, wait a minute. I know I'm an idiot. Don't point at me.
No, Bruiser, I apologize. Wrong side.
We all know that guy who thinks he's the smartest guy in the bar. Then we know the old drunk guy. You're gonna give me fucking whiplash. Stop.
You're giving me motion sickness. Fuck it. The fuck off.
Then we all know the old guy who's 4 Miller Lights in, who knows more about anything. And just that's WWE. Tony Khan pretends to be the smartest guy in the room. WWE and TKO actually are the smartest guys in the room.
Yeah.
And Triple H gave a lot of credit to Nick on Friday at the Hall of Fame speech.
Oh, Nick, absolutely. Look, when it comes to business decisions, 100% it's Nick Khan.
Mm-hmm.
When it comes to what happens on that television program and in that 20 by 20, box, it's Triple H.
So
Look, was I happy about the way Mania ended? No. But he did a podcast last week with Andrew Schultz. Triple H did. It was like a 3.5 hour interview. And he said something in there, and I should have paid attention when he said it, and I didn't. And then after Mania, it rang in my head that I was like, oh. He was talking about the process of guys in creative coming to him and being like, hey, this is real heat heavy. This is very heat heavy. What are we doing? We got to send him home happy. It's heat heavy. This show is too heat heavy. And Triple H will say, Empire Strikes Back. Don't worry. Jedi's coming.
That makes sense.
It's all WrestleMania was. It's all WrestleMania was Empire.
A fair point.
Yeah.
I just want to know what are they going to do when they get that lawsuit from the alleged fan that got hit by Stone Cold.
There's 1,000 different camera angles that show that she never got touched.
I saw it from just the initial one. It hit the barricade, then 20 seconds later she falls. Like, what? It
was a nice try, lady.
I will say, it could have been that she lost her balance, was trying to catch herself, and then fell over. Sure, 100%. But there's literally a camera angle from like 15 foot behind her and elevated that you can see it doesn't even touch her.
No. I thought that whole sequence, it became more funny when you saw Stone Cold, the fact that he missed the entrance ramp the first time.
This is why you don't let drunk rednecks on motorized equipment around people.
I'm staying away. I'm staying away from that one.
I can be a drunk redneck, and I do have motorized equipment. That's why you don't put us around people.
That's why I'm never coming out to Ohio.
The phrase "Hey y'all, watch this" was invented by drunk rednecks with motorized equipment.
Oh dear God.
My goodness.
I don't care about the Goldberg. I don't.
Nah.
Also, I will say the match that for me that was probably that stole the show, other than EO, the women's triple threat, was Charlotte and Tiffy. Because
Yeah.
good God, those broads beat the shit out of each other.
Yeah, and it was well done too. And like I told Sam earlier, I was glad that Charlotte wasn't getting it.
I knew they weren't going to
happy.
put it on Charlotte. I knew they weren't going to put it on Charlotte.
And she worked it. She worked it so well too. She really.
I don't
did.
know that all of it was a work. I think part of that was a little serious. Listen,
Yeah.
that chip veneer on Tiffy's part. Way to sell it, kid. All right, have fun talking about the draft. I'm going to the gym.
Yep. See you later, Bruiser.
See you, Bruiser. And regardless of, honestly, I do want to bring this up before we get to the draft. I want to say something that I think Bruiser may agree with me with. Regardless of, look, I'd went on a tirade for 20 minutes about The Rock, right? No matter what you do, right? No matter if I'm pissed off or happy, we're still feeding right into what WWE wants. They are still talked about at fucking nauseum. That's all they want. Yeah. That's all they get. If they're going to get that publicity, then they are doing their jobs right. Like I said, if I could just have one personal thing. No, Clint, I didn't see that. But I personally, I want to love WWE like I did as a kid. It got me through my childhood. My first ever wrestling match I watched was Chris Benoit versus JBL in a steel cage match. That was the first match I ever watched.
Clint, we got all your pictures too, bud. Wanted to show you we got you.
TKO needs to trust that they don't just need to throw. Because see, here's the thing. Not only, I'm mad at the fact that the Rock thing at Chamber screwed up everything to do with WrestleMania season because everyone thought he was going to come back. You don't care if they use The Rock, but you can't do it. TKO needs to trust the guys that TKO needs to trust Triple H and Nick Khan.
Yeah.
Chamber sales are down. Okay, we're still WW fucking 8.
Right.
We got through the last 5 years of Vince. We got through the era where we were wrestling in front of a bunch of computer screens. Relax.
Yeah, think about that. How the hell did we get through that?
We got through a lot of things.
That was insanity.
George, I can remember when they first started letting baseball fans back in. I was literally sitting next to my buddy 2 seats away. They had the seats zip tied, so we couldn't open them.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, 2 seats away, I had to sit with my buddy.
See, Clint says he didn't like the Charlotte Tiffany. It was kind of botchy, he said.
Man, I think there were some little botchy incidents. I thought they did good. I think a lot of the issue is with Charlotte now is because I think she is a little limited now because she has torn that knee up 2 or 3 times.
Yeah.
If you put 2016 Charlotte in there, I think we got a 5-star match. I just think Charlotte, her limitations with that knee now, it kind of. I think Braun Breaker's going to end up. I think Braun Breaker's about to be like.
Yeah, Breaker's about to be mainstream, especially rolling with Seth. Oh my God.
And Heyman, hell yeah.
Oh God.
But well, no, and that's the reason why I asked Bruiser about who do they think is going to go with them. I'm trying to think of guys that are on that trajectory with Braun, young, kind of up and coming guys. They don't really have big creative plans right now, so let's put them in a faction with Seth, who basically could be the modern day Triple H in this whole thing.
We don't even want
Anthony,
to
that match is
it's not even
that match.
Can't even acknowledge that.
The
It was
New
so
Day. That's not even a pre-show match. That's a Raw after Mania match. If you even wanted to put it that.
I'm gonna say, are you kidding me? I would have made
I
that a
don't
dark.
know. I'm trying
That
to
would
be
have been
nice
that
here,
would have been
okay?
the dark. That would have been the dark match.
Look, my
That
Christmas
couldn't even-
morning is in 2 nights. I'm trying to be jolly over here, okay?
I was gonna say, could you put that on NXT instead?
Now you can put out a live event in Charlottesville, North Carolina, in front of 2,000 people. I'll tell you one thing. Actually, I'll tell you this right now: the best wrestling match I ever saw in my lifetime was at a live event that wasn't televised.
Okay, so if this is, say, this is an Evolution Part 2. You got Heyman playing the part of Ric Flair. Seth Rollins is playing the part of Triple H. Breaker's playing the part of Batista. You need
It was Randy.
You need a high flyer.
That's Carmelo Hayes.
Seriously athletic young flyer in.
That's Carmelo Hayes. That's who I think it is.
You think so?
Him and Breaker are on that trajectory to be the next group of up-and-coming guys they love together. It's Carmelo Hayes to me. There's nobody else that I think would fit that mold. Actually, there is one other guy. Big high flyer, athletic freak, solid in the ring. He's always hydrated. He's from Ohio.
Sam, I'm sorry. Did you say we were getting to the draft?
No, I wasn't. The WWE draft where Logan Paul goes number 1 overall to Raw. No, I'm clearly kidding. Logan Paul's not around enough to be part of that.
Yes, Clint is our administrative dueling ace when it comes to our Wrestlemania stuff. That he got off his bucket list. Yeah, yep. I want to. Where's that autograph picture at, dude? Yeah, we put that. I put that up there. It's already been up there 3 times.
Clint, I need to know.
Segments.
I'm always curious.
Did you squeeze a cheek? I don't see a hand up there anywhere.
Well, no, I just wanted to ask Clint when it comes to Lita. Nice person, not so. I like to know how these people are in real life. Because have you ever heard Kevin Owens talk about interviews about like what they do not want fans to do?
See, Clint is with me.
I think Logan Paul is the greatest athlete to come out of Ohio ever.
Oh my God, Sam, you're killing me. You're killing me.
Will
I'm
George,
sorry. The Miz and Dolph Ziggler on their worst days are better than Logan Paul.
I don't know about that. I think Logan Paul's better than like John Cena, The Rock, Stone Cold, Roman.
Sam, put another shot in your beer.
Guys, we are going to witness the first time ever George will boot the only other co-host on the show with him. Or has that been done before?
It's been done.
Damn it.
Yeah, sorry. You wouldn't be the first, second. Actually.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
All right, anyway.
You'd be just added to a list. And lots of times Suds has been booted.
What I was going to say is Suds like the first 6, and then Bruce is like the next 4.
Somewhere close to that.
Has anyone else been booted outside of those 2? I need to know this.
Oh, yeah. Shoot, I booted Zolt.
What about Mr. Wissinger? Has he ever been booted?
Yeah. Clint said Lita was awesome, down to earth. We even had a mini conversation. Very cool.
Nice. Oh no, because I'll tell you right now, I ran into somebody, a certain wrestler once. I'm not going to mention names because I don't want to do that, but AFF.
We had what the hell? We had the one dude, he was sitting in Detroit all the time. Oh my gosh, I can't remember his name all of a sudden. He was part of the NWO kind of midstream. I can't remember. I know once I see his name on this list, I'll remember it. Where is he? Where'd he go? Was he every member of the NWO? All right, where the hell is he? Really? Okay. Somebody screwed that up. It's like, let's see. Do they not even consider him part of the NWO? Yet he walked out with everybody. The hell? Oh my God. Yeah, he only managed. I'll be damned. Yeah, they don't even really list him as part of the NWO. That's horrible. When you're not even listed as part of the NWO. That's bananas. I cannot remember his damn name. But he was like one of the manager dudes. Black guy, bald head. Can't remember his name. Why can't I remember his damn name? I can't remember his damn name. Clint, help me out here, dude. I can't remember. I can see his face. Oh, it was Virgil. They put some idiot put him down as Vincent. It's like, hey, it was Virgil. That dude would sit at the card shows up in Detroit and have his VHS tape playing on a TV.
Oh God!
I found him, Clint. It was Virgil who I was thinking of. The dude was sitting at the sports card shows, and he's trying to sell autographs and stuff, NWO T-shirt autographs, and he'd sign the shirt for $25.
Oh shit!
That is how low he hit rock bottom. Is when you have literally paid like $50 for a small 10 by 10 section to sit in a chair with a card table. Sam, a card table with a TV, with a VCR TV, all in one. And it's got just Virgil highlights on it from NWO.
Oh my
How
God.
many highlights do you remember Virgil being in NWO?
Not many.
And there were guys who literally begged, pleaded, and borrowed with the guy running it. I don't want my stuff set up next to this dude. Why do you let this dude in? He got pushed. He went from like being in the middle, like his first week, and he got a couple of people, to being pushed out to one of the end corners where like nobody was at, 3 tables away from like a guy selling boxes of cards. And then it was, it wasn't worth his time. And it's like, dude, you're not a big draw. But yet when the actual wrestlers like Hogan or Rhino or Kevin Nash would show up at one of the shows to be the autograph people, oh, he was right there. And I even seen Kevin Nash kind of scuff him off going, hey, man, good to see you. How's it hanging? And that's it. And my man was sitting in the corner trying to turn around and sell his NWO autograph shirts, and he wasn't getting a damn thing. And people are waiting in line to turn around and get Kevin Nash's autograph. I was like, dude, you're not boys. You're definitely not boys. Sorry about your luck.
Sorry about your damn luck.
Yeah. It's sad. 100% sad.
That is.
All right. enough of the boring stuff. Let's get into it. I was going to say, Clint, were you able to go to the Hall of Fame on Friday night? That I forgot if you were going to that or not. I wasn't sure.
Every time I think of Kevin Nash, I just think of the CM Punk promo where he was like, the click, the click, right? He's like, click is the sound you hear at Kevin Nash's knees when he's walking down the entrance ramp.
That was great. That was great.
People do not understand. Now, I'm not sure. Have you ever listened to the Colt Cabana podcast that CM Punk did after he left WWE?
No, I did not.
I will tell you now. He was pissed off in that company from 2011 to the day he left. Those were the best 3 years of promos ever because of how pissed off he was outside of the ring. So he took it out on everybody inside the ring.
Yeah, and that's some of his best work too.
Yep.
Some of his best work. Like I said, Nash was a bouncer up in Detroit. Places where he said he will not name, nor will I. It's just like Bryce sitting there going, you knew Eminem? I'm like, he didn't live far from me. I wasn't that far away. 8 Mile. I was literally just a few miles south. Not a big deal. And my kid's just like, so you like friends? I says, you just make acquaintance and, meet certain people and you turn around and you let them go one direction, you go your direction. And that's it.
Yep.
It's like, as long as when you're hanging out, everything's cool. It's cool. Once things start getting shaky, it's time to jet. You turn around and get yourself up and out of the way. And I leave everything like that. And all my Detroit people know that. So, let's get into this draft thing. And not the WWE draft. Because we know that pathetic thing could come and rear its ugly head back, and we don't want that. I still think that's the dumbest thing they ever came up with.
We are here to talk about the 1947 NFL draft.
God, Sam, killing me.
No, I think your throat's killing you. I'm just trying to give you some entertainment.
Now, last night, you played with the draft tracker.
Oh, yeah.
I still thought there were a lot of differences. Let me bring up the list. I know I had this already set up once. And I'm sitting there going, man, where the hell did I leave it?
George has to play research department tonight.
Yeah, right. But I have, I think it's on. Of course. Watch, I don't have it there. I bet you it's in theirs. Nope, I didn't even leave it in theirs. I have no idea where I put it. Darn it, I've got a banner Dang it. I know I've got one.
Apologies, people, for the
Yeah, for the technical difficulties, because pardon me and the medication I'm taking, it's
he has 2 monitors in his office, but he sees 6. So he's looking at the one all the way to the right, but there's not one to the right.
I'm going to put my head through this fake brick wall in a minute, right?
Yeah, I heard it takes you back to a certain year. Do you need me to say it again?
Oh, it's not in there either. I've got a whole great list and everything. It's got the draft picks all set and everything. And I'm trying to find the dang thing so we could go over it. Oh, I really, I had it set and I don't, it's just like you lose things every once in a great while.
I lose my mind every day.
Touche. Speaking of losing your mind, I know you've banned basketball like I banned baseball. How's that working out for you so far?
I'm gonna watch the damn dribble.
And your baseball, is it entertaining yet, or is it annoying you?
We have the worst bullpen in the National League. My third baseman's a head case. My second best starting pitcher just left tonight with a forearm injury.
Ruh-roh.
They continue to walk Bryce Harper so he doesn't do damage with men on base. I have 2 AA players playing in center field. My former all-star catcher has declined offensively to the point where he might as well bat ninth. Shall I go on? Only good thing that they have realized is that Bryson Stott is a leadoff hitter. And he's proving it every night. So I'm happy about that. But
I hate the bold prediction crap. Just give me the stupid lineup, people. That's all I'm asking for.
I will say one thing. I'm waiting for some teams to really start taking off, and one of them I'm waiting for is the Red Sox. They're playing like decent baseball. They're 13-11, but I'm waiting for that rotation to just buckle down and just like start mowing away lineup. I see the Guardians beat the Yankees today.
That's always a good thing.
Life's always good when the Yankees lose.
Oh, absolutely.
The Cubs are beating the Dodgers 5-4 in the 4th inning of that game. Where am I at here?
I was just saying, how's Bruiser's Pirates doing?
Well, when you're getting sell the team chances early, they first pitched tonight 9:38, but the Pirates are sitting at with an 8-15 record. So, yeah, not the best start over there in the land of the Bergs. They're just not serious. They're just not serious for what they do. I'm telling you, they get a guy at Paul Skeens who is easily going to be, if not already is, one of the best pitchers in baseball. And they don't spend money. They don't attempt to improve their team. And it's sad to see. It's really sad to see. I mean, hell, even Kansas City spends some money. Mostly on their own players, but that's fine too.
This is true. Bear with
I
me.
think a team I'm actually kind of one team I'm surprised where they've struggled is the Braves, but I mean, starting the year without Strider and Acuna, and then Profar gets suspended, so not the greatest start for the Braves. A team that they're under 500 that I've really been impressed with so far is the Nationals. I actually really enjoy what they've been doing. I think Keibert Ruiz is easily one of the best young catchers in baseball. He may be a top 5 catcher right now. He's got 3 hits today, 2 RBIs, upping his batting average on the year to 330. He's having a really good start to the season.
Shabam! And just like that.
And just like that, forget what I was saying.
So I hear that Mr. Sanders is dropping to like 20th, and I'm like, yeah, I don't think Denver's taking a quarterback. So you can pretty much pencil in Shedeur Sanders at 21. But because of everything I have seen, First Take and other places, the Giants have wined, dined, and pretty much done everything else in meeting with Mr. Sanders, and literally it's pretty much a done deal lock.
Sanders is not going to go.
But
any
the
farther.
thing is they don't, the other guys are sitting there going, not with that offensive line. That's not where he wants to be. But guess what? New York just doesn't care. New York's telling him, look, we will pay you. It's pretty much, hey, if the dude screws this up, you know the GM's out of there. He already messed up with the Saquon Barkley thing. He already messed up not taking one Jaden Daniels. You think that this dude is not going to listen to his kid this time around like the Jets owner?
Look, Shedeur, excuse me. Like I said, Tyler and I have talked about this. I'm not a Shedeur guy. I see he's good. I don't see him as great. I don't see him as a franchise-altering prospect.
I don't think so either.
He's barely my quarterback, too. Barely in this draft. I like Jackson Dart a lot. Also, you'll enjoy this. I'm also a big Will Howard guy. I love me some Will Howard.
And I'm happy that the Browns won't take him at 2.
He doesn't know yet.
And I think it's still going to be. I think Ward is 1. I think Hunter is 2. And
I agree.
Sanders could be at 3. Let New York have at it. But, I say but, the Raiders, the Giants, the Saints, Miami are all going to be hunting quarterback. They're all going to be hunting quarterback. We already know Pittsburgh's going to sit there and they're going to go, let's see how it shakes out. But if things start getting a little salty around 5 to 6, don't be surprised if you see Pittsburgh make a move. And it will be like the Kansas City Chiefs jumping up to get Patrick Mahomes.
They need to.
Don't be surprised.
I wouldn't be.
Don't be surprised at all. Yeah. Because the Steelers, and this is even crazier. If the Steelers don't do it, you know who is going to do it? They're sitting at 18. They're sitting at 18. Seattle. Do you remember they turned around? They signed 2 free agent quarterbacks when they drafted Russell Wilson. Do not be surprised if Seattle goes after a quarterback. I'm telling you now. Don't be surprised. I mean, yes, I know that right now, which is shocking, here we are, just 2 days from now, We are 48 hours away. Every single team still has their pick in this draft at the moment. At the moment,
So bizarre.
they've got it. At the moment. My question to you, Mr. Sam Nelson, does it happen? Does everybody get their pick
No.
on Thursday night?
No.
And who doesn't get it?
Somebody, I don't know who, but they're going to be trade. It's the nature of the game. Someone's going to trade up for something, whether it's Fedor, Jackson, or
the trade up, it'll just swap the spots. Who is actually going to get traded out of this round? Bigger. Let me rephrase that to kind of help this. Who can afford to trade out of this round? Who can actually afford to trade out of this round?
well, I'm disqualifying everybody in the top 10. They can't afford it. I'm probably looking at a team.
I'd almost say the top 25. No, 22. Top 22 cannot afford. From 23 to 32, I think could afford it.
I think Minnesota could afford it.
I think Green Bay can too.
Green Bay doesn't have enough defensively or on at the wide receiver position. They need to address something.
But if they're given somebody, if one of these lower ones comes back and says, hey, I'm going to give you XYZ plus my pick next year for you to bounce out. Anthony says picks 1 through 3 are in. Sure. You can see the Panthers or Jacksonville trading down.
Jacksonville
No,
not.
Jacksonville's not trading down.
I
think Jacksonville goes after a wide receiver. Actually, no, I'm sorry. Offensive tackle for Jacksonville. God, that offensive line still needs so much help.
They're taking Mason Graham. You can't pass up on a talent like that. Here,
they need so much offensive line help. It's not even funny.
They need everything. If you're taking top 5, you have a lot of things you need.
I was gonna say they need a whole team.
Honestly, if I'm looking at this, Baltimore could afford it. They're so good at drafting. They could afford it. Detroit, I would love to say, I think they need help defensively. They need to pair another pass rusher with Aiden Hudson badly. And
Anthony
honestly,
says Ravens and Bills can trade down, but the Ravens won't. The Ravens could afford it. The Ravens could.
Buffalo probably could. And I'm sorry. Yeah, own team. Philly could do it too.
Yeah, I think absolutely. I think Philly and Kansas City could.
But no, Kansas City needs an offensive tackle. Like they need, I need a better diet.
I don't know if it's Tennessee or New York looking to jump back in, and you're only going to move 3 spots, and you can still get the guy.
Yeah, but if New York takes the door, you're telling me that if they're not trading back in for an offensive lineman?
Well, you don't put all your eggs all in that one basket, though, either. You know?
Yeah. And like I said, Philly's been so good at drafting since 2021, it doesn't matter. They took an edge rusher last year who was playing safety 2 years prior, and he was playing snaps in the Super Bowl.
Anthony, I think, Dustin said Pittsburgh can trade back in. I think Pittsburgh, Pittsburgh's been seriously quiet.
They have been.
They've given out, okay. They still have Warren. They need a running back. They need a quarterback. They still need a left tackle. They need some defensive line. I think Pittsburgh is going to be the busiest team in this draft. So, yeah. I know the Tomlin thing is, he's been riding this the past 4 or 5 years of being on the hot seat. You can only keep playing that game for so long, Sam.
Yeah.
And they're going to sit there and they're going to go, look, it's getting to, and I love to be able to say this is going to tick off all the Steeler fans. Hey, guess what, y'all? You got yourself a Marty Schottenheimer on your hands. Welcome to the first round of the playoff and get your butt whooped and go home. You keep making it to the playoff and then you're out. See ya. Deuces. Because Tomlin has not been to the Super Bowl with his own guys. No. He was there with Bill's guys. He wasn't there with his own guys.
Agreed.
So guess what? Pittsburgh going to be real busy this year. I think they're going to be real busy.
Oh, yeah. They have to. You can't keep retreading with quarterbacks. Like, Russell wasn't the answer last year. Fields didn't. I mean, Fields is okay, but.
And right now, everybody said that Tennessee is fine being locked in at 1. But
it better be.
I think by Thursday morning, we're going to find Cleveland could be trading down. I think they could be looking at trading down. Now, to which one? Hey, anybody. The Saints, the Jags, New York, the Raiders, easily. Like I said, hell, Miami. You know Tua's not going to make it. You gave him all that money, and that dude just cannot stay healthy on the field. You know you got to go get somebody else. You have to. You have no choice. You have to. And when Tua sits there and goes, what the heck? It's like, dude, one more time that piece of glass gets hit, you're done.
Yeah.
Sorry, but the NFL is going to tell you, hey, listen, you've hit the concussion protocol X amount of times. Sorry, my man, you're done.
What about a team like the Colts? Let's be real here. Daniel Jones stinks. Anthony Richardson ain't far behind them.
Yeah, the Colts totally could be too. I think Atlanta and Arizona are right. Cincinnati's all right. I already told you about the Seahawks. They could definitely be sneaking in and moving too. Yeah. So, going through the list, yes, Cleveland technically could utilize a quarterback. I don't think they're going to grab him at 2. New York totally does. New England does not. Jacksonville could. Yes. 6 at the Raiders. Of course. The Raiders go through more quarter. Never mind. It's not after 10 o'clock. It's not after 10 o'clock yet. I'm going to leave it alone. The Jets, they're good. Panthers, they're all right. The Saints, yes. The Bears, no. 49ers, they need a wide receiver. They need another tight end. They need an offensive lineman. They need almost a lot of things too. The Dallas Cowboys, for the love of geez, if Dak Prescott gets traded on Thursday night, the internet will crash. The Miami Dolphins, yes. The Colts, yes. Atlanta, no. Arizona,
Not yet.
yeah, not yet, but I think in round 2 they could be. Cincinnati, no. Seattle, yes. Tampa Bay, no, they're happy with Baker.
Yep.
Denver, no. 21, Pittsburgh, yes. 22, another one, maybe,
Maybe, but not yet.
but not yet. 23, no. 24, I don't think so. 25, no. 26, yes.
Yes.
26 is a yes. The Rams could go for a quarterback at 26. 27, no. 28, no. 29, definitely not. 30, definitely not. 31, no. 32, no. So that's about what, a quarter of the list?
Yes.
It's at least 8 or 9 teams that we said yes could go after a quarterback. Somebody said that was one of their bold picks, is that 8 quarterbacks would go in round 1. I'm like, hold the phone. And then I looked at this list and I went, holy crap. Yeah, there could be. There could be. The solid ones, 6 out of those 8, for sure are going to go after a quarterback. And like I said, I would not be surprised if you see a dogfight between Seattle and Pittsburgh trying to jump up into that top 10 to go after somebody. I'm calling it now. If you all got your DraftKings or whatever your sports bet 365, go ahead. Go ahead. See if it's out there that Seattle or Pittsburgh jump up into the top 10 and take a quarterback. I'm pretty much saying it now. It's a good damn possibility. It could totally happen. Take a flyer. Take a flyer on it. Go for it. 9, they already know Derek Carr is the wishy-washy, so they're going to need to grab somebody. Aaron Rodgers is sitting there just stringing the freaking Steelers along, and guess what? The longer that he keeps stringing them along, they're going to sit there and go, hey, guess what? Got no interest, my man. And you know what sucks? Is if you don't have something done before Thursday night with Aaron Rodgers, you just sit there and go, okay, you look at the top 3 and go, what do you want? Because we're gonna go grab somebody and we're gonna go make a big splash fast because we've got DK Metcalf we just pulled in. And we're putting together, it's all in now or never. So if you're gonna go all in, you better go get somebody. You better go do it right now. Because if you don't, you're screwed.
Absolutely.
Metcalf wanted out of Seattle because he felt that it wasn't going to get there with Geno. And it's like, offensive coordinator. It's like, what? All of a sudden, it was a fire sale in Seattle. What the heck?
No, George. Pittsburgh has Mason Rudolph. They are just fine.
Stephen A. Smith said it best this morning. He said, Mason Rudolph is known for a couple of things. One, getting his own dome grilled with his helmet by Myles Garrett, and going to Tennessee and becoming a big flop. So, yeah.
Fair point.
Pittsburgh's going after a quarterback, people, and they're going to be on the phones fast and furious if Aaron Rodgers doesn't sign something by Thursday before this starts. And we know by pretty much watching draft day, draft starts at 4 a.m. in the morning, baby. 4 a.m. starts real damn early for these guys. The chess match begins. Hell, if not by tomorrow night. But yeah, expect it to be kicking full force by 4 a.m. on Thursday morning. There will be some people waking up early to turn around and start strategizing. And I think Pittsburgh's going to be one of them. And if and when that happens, if that happens, and by God, if the Steelers in Cleveland are the ones flipping spots, watch Seattle sit there and go, damn it, we want in. Watch Seattle go for the 4 spot with New England. Watch. It will happen fast and furious. And the Saints and the Raiders are going to be like, what the hell's going on? Watch for it.
Yeah. And honestly, there are teams that'll be trading up for just players they like. Like, honestly, I think if Philly trades up into this range between like 29 to 22.
Really?
Yes.
I'm listening.
Like you're saying, with all that quarterback talk, offensive linemen, there's going to be a plethora of defensive talent, just like last year, that's going to drop.
You just want to
Eagles offense is basically set for next year. Their defense took a lot of hits. So guys like Walter Nolan, Malachi Starks, Donovan Ezeraku, they're going to fall. And then Howie Roseman's going to strike. And then I'm going to be sitting here sipping a beer because he's going to do it again.
Now, I had the pleasure of sitting with you guys last year. Ton of fun.
Oh, my God.
Tons of fun. And when we were talking about, and I mean, I know you guys were talking about, crap. Why am I? Oh man, damn meds. The first dude they took because Cooper was second.
Mitchell.
Yeah, thank you. Because we were talking about Cooper. We were talking about Cooper DeJean. And it was just ironic that they ended up getting both of them.
We literally did a mock draft on the Monday show, and we had to take Cooper DeJean because Quinyon Mitchell went 12, and he ended up dropping all the way to 22.
Which was sick. Because I remember we were on the show, and we're just like, are you kidding? He's going to fall to you guys? And we're like, well, damn. I'm like, well, then Cooper's going to go to somebody else. No, and Cooper went all the way to the second round. And it was like, well, damn it. That worked out for y'all pretty darn good, didn't it?
Yeah, it saved your secondary. A secondary that desperately needed a boost, and they got it.
And trust me, I was after watching highlight film and whatnot, I paid attention to him in all your games and became a big fan of his right away. You know that. I even called it out that he was going to get a pick 6 in the Super Bowl.
I'm about to say, didn't you predict something pretty important?
I'm still mad that wasn't a bet somewhere.
Right?
Still mad as hell that wasn't a bet somewhere. That still bums me out.
How do you not make that a bet on his birthday? That's terrible.
Yeah, I was all in for it. I was like, man. So yes, I'm a big fan of the kid. Absolute big fan. And it's just like, okay, who falls like a rock this year? Is like, okay, don't know, because right now, one of the big things that they argued, Dan Orlovsky even said it. He goes, wait a minute. He goes, you loved him back in December at 2, but now here we are in end of April, and he's fallen, Sanders, for example, is fallen all the way down into the 20s. What don't you love him about him now that you loved about him in December? Well, guess what? After the season's over, that's when everybody can start excuse me, evaluating these things and evaluating all of the guys. And guess what? They just aren't in love with them as much as they used to be, because I was like, oh, okay, it's Deion's kid. He's been built and mentally prepped for the NFL since he was knee high to a grasshopper. Sure. So was Jerry Rice's kid. So was Joe Montana's kid. McCaffrey happened to luck out, and it worked out. not everybody's kid is the second coming of.
No.
I'm sorry. People have got to
anonymous-
understand that. With the Mannings, I mean, Archie was nothing to sneeze at. I mean, he was okay. But when both boys turn out to be even better, more props to them. And you see Arch, it's like right now, keep him fingers crossed. I want that boy to stay healthy. I want him to surpass both of them.
I
Take
cannot
it to
wait
the next
to watch.
level. Be the first third generation. Well, he won't be the first third. He'll be one of those third generations that makes it even better. And that's what I hope. And that's what I hope for the boy, is that Arch Manning makes it even better.
I cannot wait for Texas football next year to watch him.
Oh, me too. I mean, I think that I may watch him just as much as I'll watch Ohio State, because I want to see that young man do that well.
I'll be interested to see
I know
Ohio State next year.
Bruiser's going to sit there and kick me off of that Texas bandwagon. He's going to go, nah, we don't accept any nuts on this wagon. Get off.
And I'm excited to see Ohio State, how they look next year. They're losing a lot of players.
The one thing that the solid Big Ten teams do is rebuild and reload.
Yep.
And it's more reload than quote unquote rebuild.
Oh, yeah.
You know? So, yeah. It's going to be very exciting for next year.
Yeah, because, I mean, like, you're looking at something, right? Like, you're losing Donovan Jackson, Simmons, Ibuka, Henderson, Junkin, Sawyer. And not only that, Chip Kelly, Jim Knowles.
Well, and I think Henderson goes in the first round too. Your dude also. You both of our running backs. They both go in this first round.
I love Henderson so much.
So do I. My autograph rookie card that I pulled out of the pack from like 7 months ago is sitting over here on my wall, and I'm sitting there going, please get picked by somebody good. Hey, I'll take him at 11.
I think a realistic target there is Denver.
Yeah, I know that's what everybody else says, but I can't.
I bought
one Broncos jersey, Sam, and it was the Russell Wilson. I get to burn it now. You know, I get to burn it now. But I
think Denver's going to go either Henderson or Colston Loveland, the tight end from Michigan.
As long as Henderson doesn't end up as a Pittsburgh Steeler, I'm fine with it.
Oh, no, he's a pass-catching back. They don't like those. They like bruiser, 240-pound dude.
True. So, in other words, Dallas will probably get it. God, I hope he goes to San Fran first. Let San Fran pick him up. Hell, let the Bears pick him up first. I'll even take that.
I honestly, a team I could see him going to, I could see him in Miami.
I was thinking about that too. But that's if he gets that far.
If you pair him with H.N., those two pass-catching demons, Jesus Christmas.
Yeah, but I think Dallas needs a running game.
Dallas just needs an offensive weapon in freaking general.
Yeah, well, they need a running back because they don't have any. So that's
why I'm
a
wide receiver too.
So I'm scared. I mean, San Fran, it's like, yeah, you got.
No, I think Dallas is going to go with Hampton, the kid from North Carolina.
Really?
I have Henderson as my number 2 running back in this draft, but not everybody else does.
See, I did too.
Well, I actually like running backs that can actually pass protect.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense.
You know how hard it is to find a running back in the NFL, in the draft that can run effectively, catch the ball effectively, and pass protect?
Right. because Derrick Henry,
without having to fully develop one of those things. Do you know how freaking hard that is?
right? Yeah, there's a lot of running backs needed at 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Hell, 15. You could say 15. You could turn around and have another pairing for Bijan. Good Lord, that would be dangerous.
I see him with the Chargers, pairing him over there with Najee.
Yeah, he won't make it that far. He
I'm
won't
just
get
saying.
that. He won't get that far.
But I like the Broncos at 20.
Like I said, 10, technically 10 through 14 could utilize it big time.
Yeah, because that's the other thing. People are like, oh, reach. It don't matter if you could say it's a reach, but if this team likes the guy that much, that's what they're going to do. I agree with Anthony. He's going to go to one of those 4 teams.
No, it won't be Cleveland. In fact, Cleveland hasn't even talked to him since, and the Giants have wined and dined him galore. So I think Cleveland is totally headed in another direction, if not trading out of that spot. So, and I think the Giants could be looking at one of those situations where the Browns will sit there and tell New York, hey, we got 3 phone calls, and if you want your guy, you got to make a deal with us. And I think they're going to do that. I think the Browns and the Giants will end up flipping spots because the Giants will want him that bad. I'll make that bold prediction, which isn't too bold, by the way, right now. Because the Giants want him that bad, because they have done so much in talking to him, working things out, getting private workouts. I mean, First Take laid it all out. And it was like, okay, but which line would you rather be behind? The New York line, the Vegas line, or the Saints? Personally, I'd rather be behind the Saints line.
Yeah.
And it's a bummer that poor Taysom Hill is out, because that's another huge loss for the Saints too. That doesn't help any.
No.
And my well wishes for my boy Mr. Hill to get healthy soon. The NFL definitely needs that dude on the field, because that man is pure class and pure entertainment when he's on the field and playing. Love it. But like I said, you could probably, Anthony, you could add Seattle into that mix if you really wanted to, because Seattle's going to be jumping up there too. I still think they're gonna. That'll be the dark horse coming into those top 10. It'd be Seattle and Pittsburgh sneaking in. And like you said, if not the Saints moving up too. But I think that's what Cleveland will use as leverage to New York to flip spots and say, hey, calls coming in from Oakland, New Orleans, and Pittsburgh. And you could throw Miami in there for the S&G if they wanted to. But they know darn well that between the Saints and the Steelers and the Raiders, that's who all wants in that spot. 100%.
Yeah. I could say it.
Now, I know I brought up Jacksonville. They just paid Trevor an arm and a leg as well. I don't know how much more you need I think they go O-line for sure. I don't think that they got anywhere near needing a quarterback. I think Lawrence is just fine. He's gone through so many stupid head coaches, which means so many stupid offensive coordinators. You keep changing the freaking toilet paper, and it goes from soft to rough to 2-ply to 3-ply to 1-ply. I mean, Jesus. Give the guy a break. Get him some ultra soft. Get him some coverage, would you? I mean, the running game has taken a hit because the offensive line has been so bad. There is no reasons for ETN and these guys getting hurt when the offensive line isn't moving quick enough. It's like, come on, guys. Work on build up that line. You got to build up that line. Seattle did it, and they've had a decent running game for the past 4 years with no issues.
Yeah, I don't disagree. I just don't know if they're going to. Mason Graham is such a great prospect. I don't know if they'll pass up on it. Because their interior defensive line is not good either.
Yeah.
They got the edges with Walker and Allen, but I don't know.
But you've got to. I know it's one of those things of, well, and that's why it's like, okay, we know somebody's going to make the shuffle up into 2. So say between the other guys, between the Saints and the Steelers, and the flip-flop run for the QBs, the Browns get flipped out of there. I think at 5, the other one could jump over back in and grab Dart at 5. And Jacksonville trades out of that spot to get their O-line later on down the line.
I can see it.
Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
Because that way they can sneak in and get it before the Raiders decide they want to grab Dart at 6.
Yeah.
Anthony says FanDuel's got 2.5 on the over-under number total of QBs gets drafted in round 1.
Over.
Oh. Over is 132. Oh, yeah. Easily. We already said there's like 8 teams that need a quarterback badly.
Yeah.
But this year isn't the year for, I mean, they always say that this year isn't the year for quarterback. I mean, technically, the 2020 class was one of the biggest classes for quarterbacks when you look back on it. Besides Burrow, Herbert, Tua, Jordan Love, who got his time to sit and then shine. Hurts, same thing. Hello. That's 5 dudes right there.
Yeah.
Turned out to be a great class for quarterbacks.
It did.
I don't like sitting there saying, "Oh yeah, this class isn't good enough." It's like, well, how about we wait a few years and see whether or not the class was good enough. Especially if they had to be first round.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, like you were saying, like you're bringing those quarterbacks up, and yeah, you know, you had Burrow, Tua, Herbert, Hurt, Love. Is there somebody else in there, or is that it?
You want to really talk about Eason? Okay. There were so many Jacob Eason rookie cards, I think, mass produced out of that. And it was like, dude, all it did was just grind his cards down to a halt. As I remember back then, getting, you know, packs or whatever, and it's like, man, you were guaranteed one every blaster. You were guaranteed a Jacob Eason easily. He was 1 per. And I was like, yeah, we'll throw this clown in, no problem.
Let's see if there's any other quarterbacks in that draft that I was forgetting.
Shoot, there were several Jalen Hurts too, because Hurts really wasn't that big of a household name yet.
No.
And everybody's like, "Yeah, forget about Philly. Don't worry about him." It's like, "Yeah, he'll get along later." Well, okay,
Yep.
here we are later, 5 years later. It's like, "Oh yeah, guess what? Yeah, he turned out pretty damn good. No
Yep.
sweat. A couple Super Bowls, a couple.
Yep.
Burrow got to his one. Herbert, none. Love, none.
Tua, none.
Tua can't sniff a playoff. And Hurts has been to 2. Poor Herbert keeps getting the door slammed on his foot. Can't get there.
Yep.
He was supposed to be the ultimate.
Excuse me.
It's like that kind of stinks for the Oregon quarterback, don't it?
And I still like Herbert. I know he's out of town. It's just
Oh, me too. Me too.
your two playoff games are a 4 interception game and a 27-point blown lead.
Which is very unfortunate.
Yep.
Does Houston go offensive line again? Or
Yeah.
defensive?
They need offensive line help. They've lost Jack Mason. They've lost Kenyon Green. They need interior help.
Badly. That
Tyler
running
Booker,
game,
Alabama.
that running game is just atrocious at the moment. And if that running game is going to rebound to help for the passing game to work like it did 2 years ago, they got to get that fixed.
Tyler Booker.
Even though I'm still not crazy about Tunsil splitting, it's like that hurts.
I mean, yeah, and they signed Cam Robinson to try to fill that void, but
Yeah, it's not the same.
no.
The Rams are a dumpster fire. I have no idea what the hell they're doing. None. I have no idea. The Cooper Cup thing came out of nowhere. It's like, oh my God, I'm sorry. It's his first super major injury, and you're gonna just bye. I'm like, are you freaking serious? I'm like, please, go ahead. Go have fun in the new house.
I can see the Rams going quarterback, but I can also see them going tight end. Maybe going to get Colston Loveland. They need another pass catching weapon.
Well, I mean, remember, they got Devontae Adams now. I mean, what could possibly go wrong?
Yeah, but if you put Loveland over the middle with Puka and Adams, you're creating a monster trio.
Well, I'm sorry, but I think Cooper Kupp will sit there and flourish with Jackson Smith just fine and Bobo. I think they will be just fine, and he'll be just fine in Seattle, and he'll share a lot of knowledge. And Seattle's receiving core, I don't think skips a beat. I mean, yeah, it's Sam Darnold, but I mean, for what Darnold did with Minnesota, dude, okay, so you run it back with another team. I don't think, like I said, even though it's Darnold and it's Drew Lock, Seattle signed free agents before. I wouldn't sweat it if they signed a quarterback. If they draft a quarterback, shoot, they drafted Tua's brother a couple years ago and cut him.
Yeah.
They thought he could be another good quarterback. Well, apparently not. Oh, well. Well, guess what? Seattle saw it worked with the 49ers. You can draft a quarterback in any round, and anything is possible, folks. Anything.
Exactly. You put them in the right position, and then the rest is history.
Brock Purdy may not be, quote unquote, the next Tom Brady, but as far as how the drafting goes, so far the kid's not doing too shabby. Yeah, the injury bugs bit him a little bit, but guess what? He's not going to be too bad. It looks pretty solid. I really wish they still would get a little bit better backup behind him, but we'll have to wait and see. Just don't let it be Aaron Rodgers. For the love of God, keep that fruitcake away from my team. I want him nowhere near my team.
Don't blame you.
Nowhere. The guy is completely Fruit Loops, Sam.
I know.
Let's call it for what it is. Aaron Rodgers is a complete Fruit Loop. He's an absolute idiot and a moron. Jumps on Pat McAfee's show because they're buddies. Talks about absolutely nothing that nobody even understands. And goes into his little dark place to turn around and meditate or whatever. Hey, I ain't bashing it. You want to go into your dark place and meditate, but you come back out spewing crazy stuff, and then you try to go work with the team and you don't work with the team, that's all on you, man. I'm sorry. You're old. You're now lame. It's time to go bye-bye.
Yeah,
Just
I
go
think it's
away.
the end of the road with that.
Go away. I don't even want to see your trading cards in football packs moving forward.
Boy.
You don't even get to do that. No, just stay out. Stay away. Just go away. Sam, you already know I said it on your show last night what he needs. I thought Dustin was going to fall out of his chair. I totally thought he was going to fall out of his chair.
But yeah, I don't need. I'm over the whole Aaron Rodgers saga. I'm tired of talking about it.
And I've heard nothing upcoming at all anywhere about it.
It's Pittsburgh or unemployed for him at this point. There's no chance that he is going to go anywhere else with Pittsburgh. No other team wants him. No other team really needs him. It's either go to Pittsburgh, take what they offer, or call it a day.
Yeah, I see one thing on here. It says, here's hoping the Steelers sign Aaron Rodgers Thursday morning and draft Shedeur Sanders Thursday night.
Oh my God.
Oh man, you want to see Steeler fans jump off of that yellow bridge? That bridge will collapse first. Oh my God.
Dear Lord.
And I love it. It says here, Tomlin was interviewed and he says, any concerns about the whole Aaron Rodgers thing when asked about Rodgers has any impact on the Steelers draft. And Tomlin just looked right at him and goes, it does not. I'm like, no kidding. I says, because guess what? You're not. That clearly tells you they are not interested. He has zero interest in Aaron Rodgers. If he's going to sign, he's going to sign. But come Thursday night, they're moving to take a quarterback, and they could care less if they get him. I'll tell you right now, if the Steelers flip and come up to 2 and tell Cleveland, listen, we're going to give you the sunshine and a few bodies, and we want that spot because we're stealing Shedeur from New York. Let's make this happen. I'm telling you now, Steeler fans, it's going to be Sanders' show, and you ain't going to have to worry about Rodgers. And Rodgers can be sitting at home going, well, maybe New Orleans. And New Orleans already doesn't have interest in his ass. So guess what? sorry, see you later. It won't be New Orleans either. New Orleans wants no part of that mental head case at all.
No,
Not for
they
what
don't.
just happened with the Jets. And I love when he says the Jets were so disrespectful. He says he flew. Oh, I flew from all the way from the West Coast. And we sat down in the office. He goes, we weren't even sitting down for 40 seconds. And they said, yeah, we're moving on. And he's like, you could have told me that over the phone. Why'd you make me fly out here? Dude, to piss you off. That's why they did it, because you pissed them off. Hello. It's called a receipt, buddy. How's it feel? Because that's exactly how they felt, because they get screwed over. Sorry about your damn luck. Sorry about your luck, pal. Yeah. You know what? We wasted your time because you wasted ours.
Yep.
Thanks for nothing. It wasn't about disrespect. It's called payback, son. Payback. And I'm sorry, I'm on my like seventh cough drop just to have a voice here.
It's okay, George. It's okay.
But I mean, we're at this point, I think the NFL doesn't even want to have any more Aaron Rodgers talk.
I don't think
To
so.
tell you the truth, I really don't. Aaron Rodgers is the last of the Tom Brady-ish, Peyton Manning-ish era that needs to go bye-bye.
Yeah.
It's time for the new dudes and let them get their sunshine in. It's the 2020, pretty much the 2020 on. Dak Prescott, once this contract's up, that dude's done too. He gone. And then you know who's right behind him? Derek Carr.
Yep.
And then Matthew Stafford and Goff are pretty much riding it right behind them. And then it's nothing but all the youngins from that point forward. It'll be nothing but the youngins.
I wouldn't be surprised if Stafford was.
It's those 3 or 4, and that's it.
I wouldn't be surprised if Stafford was done after this year.
I think it's going to depend on who could still utilize somebody.
Yeah.
I mean, kind of like, you know, Cleveland. Look at Cleveland retaking Flacco. I think that was the decision that they went, damn it, we should have kept him. And they're going, I'm sure the phone call went something like this. Hey, Joe, we know we effed up. We know you're done on their deal. Here's what we'll give you. Come back over and play with us, please. And Joe went, okay. You're paying me a little more. Okay, no problem. He had a good time. The fans are like, yep, we're in. We're in for him, sure. He understands it's a stepping stone ordeal, but you know what? Hey, we got this Kenny Pickett kid. If Joe can somehow give him some molding and some instruction and show him, hey, this is what will help you, you know, in the long run. You want to try to make a solid career out of this. Don't trust an organization. Rule number 1. Rule number 2, definitely trust yourself and put a good core of people around you. I think that's the best advice you could give Kenny Pickett. Yeah, it didn't work out in Pittsburgh, but Sam, you and I have talked about this. Some quarterbacks, it's just the wrong system.
Yeah.
Everybody said, oh, Tom Brady would have been great in Cleveland. No, he wouldn't have. It's not even close to being the same system.
We thought Sam Darnold was a bust till Kevin O'Connell got his hands on him.
Yeah. Fair enough. It's all about being in the right system. When Tom Brady was leaving New England, everybody and their brother went, yo. And Tom went, no, 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 no. And that was just the organizational people. And then he looked at the coaches and went, no, 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 maybe, maybe, maybe. There were 4 maybes. And he ended up with Tampa. You know? Random moment. Jaw about to be home like us watching the second rounds. That good, huh, Anthony? That good? Nice. But yeah, it has to be the right system. And so if Kenny Pickett didn't work out in Pittsburgh, he was good enough to handle Philly's backup responsibilities. Now he's in a total different situation with Cleveland. And if the coach can turn this kid around, like Harbaugh is good with most of these quarterback kids, all right, let's see what he can do.
Yeah.
I mean, Pittsburgh's going to know what you're doing twice a year because they had the kid, they know his weak spots. But hell, if you work on strengthening it or adjusting to it to where he doesn't have that problem, more power to you.
I agree.
I mean, I know Justin had turned around and said, hey, he's not mad about it. It was like, let's take a season or 2 and see what happens.
Yeah.
Pretty much, I think that's where every Clevelander should be. Sit back, as I like to say, and I know you say it half of this most of the time on your show. Sit back, relax, get a glass, grab a snack, and enjoy the ride.
Yeah.
That's what I always said. I always said that when I first started. And it's the same thing right now. Don't lose it. Everybody wants to lose their ever-living mind. It's like, oh, Nick Chubb, get us what? Nick Chubb, hey, the time got spent, wasted. He's going to be off and running. Where? Who knows? You got to get yourself a new running back.
Yeah.
And I mean, yes, I know that Hunter is the big fav at 2, but what if Cleveland goes and grabs the Lion? What if Cleveland turns around and says, yeah, we're taking the running back at 2? Holy crap. People will lose their minds, maybe jumping off the 480 bridge going, what are they thinking? Well, they're thinking they need a damn running game because that's what they need. Like I said, which is one reason I think the Browns are going to draft or going to trade out of that second spot. Because I think Hunter, I mean, yes, it'd be great to have another wide receiver. Not gonna disagree with that. But slide back, take a running back instead as your first round pick. You need it.
Yeah.
You truly need it. You got Ford. You need running backs. I know it's not the popular decision, Cleveland, but guess what? I think that's what you're going to need to do.
Well, I say that about the Eagles all the time. I tell people, look, they're going to draft an offensive lineman eventually. You're going to get pissed off, but at the end of the day, you're going to say, well, yeah, that was a good idea.
Sure. Uh-oh. Anthony said.
Anthony, hold on. I don't think we need a Daniel Jones extension to confirm that AR-15 is overrated.
I agree. I know that everybody's like, oh yeah, it's, when the guy, see the thing about AR, when he's on. But that's the problem, is he's not always on. He is more off than he is on, which is why I said the Colts and Miami, between those two, they could definitely be making the phone calls as well, going, hey, we went in at number 2.
Absolutely.
For sure. They could totally do that because they know. Anthony, I don't know if you were in when we were talking about it. One, taking a quarterback. New York, taking a quarterback. The Raiders are taking a quarterback. The Saints, taking a quarterback. That's 4 so far. You can see Miami and the Colts. That's 5 and 6. Seattle, 7. Pittsburgh, 8. Those were the 8. And then the Rams could be the 9th possibility of taking a quarterback. There's 9 possible teams going after a quarterback. It's a good possibility because they're looking. And they all could be talking to Cleveland. Literally, the draft starts at what? 8:25 probably?
Something like that.
Something like that. It's like when they get all the hoopla out of the way.
Oh, yeah.
When Tennessee starts on the clock, even probably before that, I'd say mid-afternoon, people are making phone calls to Cleveland going, yo, what do you want it for 2? What do you want for spot 2? And it's a matter of how far does Cleveland want to fall back and what guys that they're looking at. Like I said, if they're going to fall down, say into that teen range, you're looking at a running back.
Yeah.
Would it be kind of cool that they end up with Henderson? Hell yeah. I think everybody in Ohio would love that. It's like, yeah, he ain't going far. He's just going from C-Bus to 2.5 hours up north. No problem.
Yeah, right.
No problem at all. I could totally see it. Do you see a team like pulling a Falcons from last year's move?
Honestly, I don't know.
Well,
I honestly have no idea who could pull that off.
I'd have to see who's got the stronger trading power in rounds 2 and maybe 2 of next year. I'd have to probably see that list before I could probably, because isn't that what Atlanta did? They gave like a 2 for this year, 2 for.
I forget what they did.
Let me go back to see that. Let me see if I can find that. If you want to address that real quick.
You know, a Falcons move. I can see the Jets doing it. They've only committed to Fields for 2 years. So, and I'm going to throw it out here. What about San Fran? What if they're not comfortable?
It was their second. It was a second and third.
Okay.
I think it was a second and third.
Let me ask that question. What about San Francisco? What if they're not comfortable paying Purdy that money?
They're gonna come to an agreement. John Lynch isn't stupid. They're gonna come to an agreement, and especially since they even said that Lynch is handling the negotiations. I said, thank you. Do not let Jed York in the room. Thank you very much. Let football people deal with football decisions. Jed, stay the hell out. Go sit in your box.
Yeah.
Go sit in your damn box and stay there.
Jesus, George. Tell me how you really
What
feel.
you want to tell every owner. You just sit in your damn box and stay there. Let the football people do the football business. That's why you pay them.
And that's what I love about Jeffrey Lurie. He lets Howie Roseman do what he has to do.
It's a beautiful example. It's a beautiful example.
So, yeah. I think San Fran should realign with Trent Baalke one day, maybe. Yeah, I can see maybe a team or two that could pull off that Falcons move. I just don't know who.
I thought he was talking about the trade up. He get from the 37 to get the 37 spot. I forgot about they took Penix instead and threw everybody for a loop. I forgot about that.
I think
that's why I mentioned about the Seahawks, Anthony. I mentioned that about the Seahawks. The Seahawks signed Darnold and Drew Lock. But when they drafted Russell Wilson, they also signed a couple of free agent quarterbacks too. So that's why I'm saying do not count out Seattle could totally pull off that move too. That's the one who I'm thinking they could. Sam, holy crap, I just thought of this. What if it was Seattle calling Cleveland to make the move? Holy crap. I just thought about that. Oh my God. Could you?
I would have no words for that.
I swear to God, if that happens on Thursday night, people will be like, wait a minute, is this draft day? Where's Kevin Costner? Oh my God, people would be losing their minds. Saying Cleveland and Seattle have just made a trade. Your eyeballs just opened wide as saucers when I mentioned that. Holy,
and I'm exhausted. Crap. You're making my eyes open that much.
Holy crap! If it happens, you heard it here first. If it happens, you heard it here first. Good Lord, that would be. Oh my God.
So does that make Kenny Pickett Brian Drew from draft day?
Oh God. Oh dear God. No, that's Flacco. That's Flacco. Yeah. That's Flacco.
So who's Vontae Mack? Abdul Carter.
I was gonna say, yeah, probably. Dude, that would be hilarious.
Travion Henderson can be Ray Jennings.
Right? Dude, that would be the most off the wall thing. I need to post that. I gotta post that and go, listen, folks, this could happen. I mean, I would even purposely call Kevin Costner and go, dude, you got to do this. You got to change
day 2. Let's go.
No. Just have him make the announcement. Just say change the names around to the real guys, and he's still got to throw in David freaking Putney.
Oh my. We're gonna have Goodell come out and say, "Who the hell is Sonny Weaver?"
Oh my God,
that'd be great.
That would be, I swear, if that happens. Oh man, people would lose that. And remember where this? It's in Green Bay. It's in Green Bay. Even Packer fans would be just going, "Wait a minute, haven't we seen this movie before?"
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh my gosh. Oh, thanks, Anthony. I didn't even think about that. Yeah, the Chargers did pay Herbert.
Oh, did they?
Because I did just kept saying that Seattle could move into that top 10. Boy, I never thought about that flipping into 2 with Cleveland until that now. Oh my gosh.
Is it Thursday yet?
This is the crazy part is we got 48 hours.
Yep.
We've got 48 hours.
It's probably a fun week.
Friday morning is gonna suck to wake up, but it is what it is.
Not for me. I took off Thursday.
It will be for me. It totally will be for me. It will seriously suck to wake up. But yeah, I mean, the wow factor in just, I think for me, once the 49ers make their pick, see, Anthony, we said maybe, but not this year. I could see him going next year. Yeah.
We're not there yet.
It
He's
was
now
them.
a year. Here's the thing. Now he's a year removed from the injury. Now let's see what Kyler Murray we get.
We said that one and Minnesota's would be 50-50, I think. Right?
Yeah.
Didn't we say there was those two who we thought could be 50-50, but not this year, but maybe going into next year for sure?
Definitely.
Especially if Minnesota gets worse. I don't really see how, but then again, I think they're going to be okay. I think they'll be all right. So, yeah, but I think we went 50-50 on Arizona.
Yeah.
As long as another Call of Duty doesn't come out, I think they're all right. I'm sorry. I can't resist a Call of Duty joke.
Good night.
Couldn't resist it.
Oh. Good Lord.
So, what time are we starting on 6:09 on Thursday?
Whenever the hell Goodell says the Titans are on the clock.
And I'm saying that's when you're starting.
Yeah.
All righty. So there's no specifics.
Basically, we're trying to start at around 8:00. But like I said, I'm not going live until they start the countdown for the Titans because it's a waste of time to just sit there.
Fair enough. So between 8 and 8:30,
essentially, we'll be.
You'll see us on 6:09.
The trio of troublemakers.
And also, if you want to multitask multiple opinions on multiple screens, like I sort of have in my office, or on your laptops, Talking About Balls will also be doing their live broadcast from my StreamYard. So as I'm sitting here with Sam and Tyler, StreamYard's over on the other monitor with Justin and Kyle and their guests. And Redline is also doing theirs live from the doghouse. So there's 3 different sets of opinions. The doghouse one with Redline, they're probably pretty much going to be heavy on the Cleveland stuff. If you've got, for everybody local around here who would be interested in that as well, they'll be talking about it pretty much, I think, most of the night leading up to the pick. They'll probably start a little earlier. But those are 3 solid spots, gaining multiple different opinions from multiple people. I know that talking about balls also will be heavily on the Cleveland aspect as well. I think if Zolt may even be able to make it, I think he may even pop in while he's finishing up work stuff. So that may be a possibility, I think, as well. Getting the Detroit POV. So
I got a lot of Browns friends that I really enjoy Browns coverage from. Except this one guy on Redline. I can't stand him.
He'll be here one of these days.
Oh, he's not. He officially. He has silently quit since I came. He don't want to deal with me on a weekly basis. I just find the poetic justice how I did the Jameis Winston thing. I wasn't even trying to make it a joke. All I was saying was what I was reading on a tweet. Then he got mad at me and started making fun of me because my team traded for Kenny Pickett. A year later, Kenny Pickett's on the Browns.
Yeah. Yep. It's karma has come full circle, hasn't it?
Oh, yeah.
All right, my friend. Well, we are going to sign off here because pretty much everything else will be razzled and dazzled and shaken out on Thursday evening. I think we've beaten this horse to a pulp.
I can't do the honor of Bruiser because it's just not. I'm not. Can I do the honor for Zolt since he's not here?
Shoot.
End the damn show.
Where's George and Grace?
That takes care of the 4 minutes. Say goodnight, Grayson.
Good night.
Good night. I said say goodnight, Gracie.
Good night.
Good night.
So I said, well, flip a coin. And if it comes out heads, have your hair dyed.
And if it comes out tails, say goodnight, Gracie.